You some Arkansas's premier off-road superstore. Call 782-MUD today. KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 42 days. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you. Smith, I'm all right. What can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Well, Matt Jones may take it to the house. In the dump.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my hot dog? Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
For one Razorback. It's vintage Matt Jones. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Right now, let's take the field.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
Morning at 1 minute after 11 o'clock on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. It's halftime. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, Colton Little is producing the show today with Christian Johnston at the Phoenix Avenue Hardee's location because today's the first qualifier for the football trip of a lifetime. So good to have Colton with us today. And they made us wait until the last day to hear from Sam Pittman and Arkansas players at SEC Media Days. And we had Coach Pittman on the Morning Rush. He concluded his media session probably about 35 minutes ago. And about the next 35 minutes should have the players completing their session. We'll be talking with Andrew Armstrong, Landon Jackson, and Taylen Green later on in hour number 1 of Halftimes. Good morning to you, Matt Jones. Happy last day of SEC Media Days. It's not really the end of talking season. It's just the last day I guess you could say the last day of the first week of talking season.
You know, you got Seaburger at Hardee's, so I'm digging it. We got 45 in the studio, and we're going to get some players on the air today, Phil. Yeah. I mean, I know you like everybody say it's talking season, but you can kind of feel it in the air. It's getting closer. You know the guys, you're ready to get to camp, you're ready to get to practice, and then after about 2 weeks, then you're ready to hit somebody else. But no question about it. It'd be interesting to ask these players, what have they been doing all summer? You know, what kind of drills have they been doing? 7-on-7? Did they go to school still? But it'd be cool to catch up with the guys. But you know they're ready. You know, Andrew Armstrong, this is his second year in the SEC. Taylen Green, his first year. Landon Jackson, now he was an LSU guy but didn't play, right? So it's kind of, he's a team captain, and so it's kind of, you know, he's a leader. And it seems like all three of these guys handled themselves the right way.
Yeah, we're looking forward to talking with those guys. With Armstrong, remember he came up from Division II. You had 2 receivers that came up from Division II last year, along with Isaac Tesla. So I do wonder, and maybe ask, like, when did it start to feel like the speed of the game
kind of settle in?
Was it your speed? Now in a second year, and it's not just SEC, second year of Division I football. I think you could see a big step forward from Andrew Armstrong. And Green's making a step up too, you know, coming out of the Mountain West. You know, you hope somebody can improve their accuracy from one year to the next. Moving from the Mountain West Conference to the Southeastern Conference would not be the best way to get your completion percentage getting higher. That's one aspect of Green's game that I think does concern people. 57% last year completion percentage, but I do expect that with Bobby Petrino coaching him, and it really seems that was a marriage that was destined for each other when Bobby was recruiting him to Missouri State. And then, Jackson is the guy, like, he is the most known quantity probably of this football team right now. Someone that's going to get a lot of double teams. Might be a little bit difficult for him to get loose and produce a lot of sacks unless you do have some others coming off the line of scrimmage that can also mandate getting a block or two at the same time. So we'll have the sound from Sam Pittman in our next segment. But there was the first thing I wanted to kick around a little bit here. I don't know if you saw this, Matt. yesterday, Steve Sarkisian at his media session, and I thought he was exactly. I liked his the way that he put this. You know, they've regained two rivals, Texas. Of course, they bring their, I guess they would say, their number one rival from Oklahoma over here to the SEC too. But then there's A&M, and of course that's probably been kicked up to another gear with the Jim Schlossnagle stealing. And but he also said, look, you know, A&M's getting a lot of the talk, and we come over with Oklahoma, but he's really excited for the Razorback rivalry because that's an historic rivalry, and that's somebody that I think has an understanding of it because he coached on the last game that these two programs met. But Matt, he also said, and he said it jokingly, so I don't know if he really means this, but I do wonder about the mindset for some people. He says he believes Arkansas fans hate Texas more than they like Arkansas. It's an interesting view to put it on. And I'll say this, like, I do believe myself to be more of a hater when my team is not doing well or when they've been knocked out of playoff contention in whatever sport it is that I'm covering. I feel like I do more rooting against another team than I do rooting for another team. But I don't know. I wouldn't say that I would have any hatred that would take it to more of a level than the way that I do love the teams that I grew up rooting for. And hey, I mean, if you talk about Major League Baseball, I hate the team that I love the most. So, I mean, that's a little bit of a different thing. I wonder how many Arkansas fans feel that way. Do you hate Texas more than you like Arkansas? You know, I just thought it was an interesting way that he put it, but I think he was really just trying to say some interesting things about the rivalry and I don't know. Did you ever feel like that, Matt? Like fans might hate Texas a little bit more? Because I feel that hatred when people text in about Texas and call about them too.
Well, I was raised, and Phil, you won't hear me say the word hate a lot. You know, you don't hate anybody. You might strongly dislike Texas, but self-care is the first care. You got to love yourself. I don't believe that you can't have success if you don't love yourself first. So I totally disagree of strongly disliking Texas over liking yourself. So you better take care of yourself first, and then go get in it. And the thing about Texas is they're just like Alabama. They're like some of the Georgia. They're gonna get 5 stars and 4 stars, and they're just gonna be littered on that roster. And so, you know, when you get a chance to play them, that you got to bring your A game. That's the thing. If you're going to beat Texas, a lot of times it's not going to work bringing a C or B game, and that's what makes it special. Is they get the top 5 recruiting class every year, and then when you're able to whoop them on the field. I'll never forget, we went down to Austin. I want to say Texas was ranked 4 in the country, and we whooped them, and it was pretty cool. And then adversely, the next year we lost to Texas, and it's the only game I cried after in my college career. So yeah, it does mean a lot to play against Texas, but it's just that much more special when you go out there and whoop them.
Well, you know, so much of the air has been consumed about conversation about Texas and about Alabama and about Nick Saban and even about Oklahoma to a sense too. But all of that is done and gone now, and there'll be questions about those programs coming in to the coaches and the players that are speaking today. But today is more about Arkansas and more about Texas A&M and Auburn and Kentucky, the 4 programs that are under the spotlight of SEC Media Days today. The Razorbacks get the opportunity to go first. I think that's a great thing. That means they'll be back home probably by the time Mark Stoops gets up and speaks at 2:25 in the afternoon. I would expect that Coach Pittman, Andrew Armstrong, Taylor Green, and Landon Jackson are back in Fayetteville. That's not even landed, but you know, back on campus by that point. Oh,
and the way they're flying, Phil, that's a 35-minute flight. You know, they're going on their little private. Probably what seats about 8. Whenever we went, this was years ago. It was just it seated 8 or 10. It's not a very big plane, but it's the plane that athletic directors and coaching search committees get to travel on. Yeah, so they'll be back home in time to catch their tea time.
So again, it's more about Mike Elko. It's more about Hugh Freeze and more about Mark Stoops and their players than any of the programs that were speaking earlier today. I mean, look, if you get a couple of You get a couple of programs with one of them that's got a brand new head coach and Mike Elko, just trying to see if you can go from being a bargain basement coach in the ACC at Duke to a place where you're expected to get some of the top players in Texas and some of the top players in the country, which A&M was doing under Jimbo Fisher, just weren't able to turn it into productive seasons. With Hugh Freeze, hey, we know about Freeze. That's one of the two teams that are speaking today that Arkansas does play against. You're expected to take a big step forward in that second season, just like Sam Pittman did in 2021, a huge step forward that nobody really saw coming. And then with Kentucky, you get, by now, that is the most stable program in the SEC, just looking at the number of years that Stoops has been there. But it is interesting that the team that tried to hire him and was pretty close to doing it is speaking in about 50 minutes, looking at A&M, and then Stoops gets to go up there and talk all about the team that he was really close to leaving back in January. So it is an interesting day.
You think that'd be a question that's asked? I don't know if they throw a lot of bullets at this. I think it's all friendly fire, it seems like. But do you think somebody asked Coach about that? Like, how close were you? Or do you think he just says, I want to talk about my team and we're not going to talk about what happened 3 months ago?
If you're gonna ask that question, it's got to be couched without bringing up the school that he might have been leaving for. I guess you ask it in terms of stability in your program. You've been here for X amount of years. Man, I'm not quite sure how you ask that question without bringing up the idea that you nearly left Kentucky and then getting the answer that you're talking about, which is I'm here to talk about this year and not about last January, which I don't think any of these coaches really want to talk about right now. Plus, we have your calls and your texts all throughout the show on our hotline. That's 877-377-6963. We'll have Brett Dolan joining us at about 1:15. Brett rejoining the Touchdown Radio football crew, picking one college football game each weekend. They get some great games, and we'll be speaking with Brett about some of those games that he is going to be broadcasting when we get to him later on. But in just a moment, we will break, and we will be playing some sound from Sam Pittman up on the dais. Remember about Riley Farm Dental. That's the entrance to Riley Farm, providing every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. Dr. Sparkman, Davis, and Farmer helping their patients with a better life, better smile. You'll be more confident, have a comfortable experience every time. They'll help with general dentistry, braces, implants, cosmetics, and same-day crowns available as well. That's Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Farm Drive, Suite A. That's the entrance to Riley Farm off Highway 71 in Fort Smith, 226-3500, RileyFarmDental.com. Stay tuned. Sound from Sam Pittman from Dallas right after this on Halftime.
This is Halftime.
On second down, the give is to Felix Jones on an end around. Jones to the 30 to 40. Jones in midfield. He may go. The 25, the 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Arkansas. Felix Jones goes 72 yards. The Razorbacks increase their lead.
Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com. ESPN 95.3 is live on location.
Hey guys, it's Big C coming to you live from Hardee's, 1820 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. It's that time of the year again, the football trip of a lifetime. And this year's matchup is the Dallas Cowboys and Philadelphia Eagles, a bitter rivalry, and it'll be at AT&T Stadium. Today is our first lunch qualifier. We'll be out here until 1 p.m. You got to eat a Monster Burger in 150 seconds or less. Come on, it sounds bad, but I promise you, you can do it. Just give it a shot. It's worth it, and you get free food, and it's a great time. Again, the football trip of a lifetime presented by Hardee's, ESPN Arkansas, and hitthatline.com. Come see us, 1820 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith, Hardee's location.
Do you need gutters but think they're too expensive, or that you need to get the soffit or fascia ready? No worries. Call the Gutter Guy. He does it all. No need to call multiple companies to get the right gutters for your home. Call the Gutter Guy. Quality, low maintenance, leak-free gutters with a 5-year warranty. The Gutter Guy also does vinyl siding and windows. The Gutter Guy. Over 30 years experience. Call 226-1259. Call the Gutter Guy.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Do you need an attorney that you can actually speak with? You need Hickey & Hull Law Partners. The attorneys at Hickey & Hull understand the importance of client communication and are taking the time to meet you, respond to emails, and return calls. Every case is important, and they strive to give each one the time and attention it deserves. Call today, 479-434-2414, or visit them online at kevinhickeylaw.com. Hickey & Hull Law Partners. Things are about to get better.
Hey, folks, here at Road Chevrolet, 2800 Alma Highway in Van Buren, Crawford County's only new car dealer. I've got Grant Neal, general manager. Grant, man, what a great selection you guys have here at Road Chevrolet.
It's really awesome. You know, we've been looking at trying to expand our inventory, and right now the selection's the best it's been in a long time. Full line of new light-duty trucks. Got I think over 10 heavy-duty trucks in stock, including the 3500 cabin chassis, as well as the extremely popular custom 2500 that everybody's in love with.
There have been times when some dealerships have charged over MSRP. What about here at Rhodes?
Well, no, I mean, we've never charged over MSRP through all the craziness. We never did, and now we're even marking below MSRP.
And if you need financing, you can take care of that too.
Oh, absolutely. Robert Good, our finance director, is an absolute wizard at working the banks. GM Financial's offering rates as low as 1.9% for well-qualified buyers on select new Chevys, and we haven't seen rates that low in a very long time.
Come by today, 2800 Alma Highway, Van Buren Road, Chevrolet.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
É que ਸਾਡੀ ਆਸ਼ਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਾਡੀਆਂ ਸੁਖ ਸਬੇਲਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਦਿਨ ਰਾਤ ਮਨਾਉਂਦੀ ਏ ਕਿਮਰ ਕਰਕੇ behind movie scenes, Sally Rani, she's the one that keeps the dream alive, from the morning past the evening to the end of the life. Full of Asher on the 45, well, it's a brim full of Asher on the 45. Brim full of Asher on the 45, well, it's a brim full of Asher on the 45.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Chris Hummer, 24/7 Sports. Just 2 years ago at this event, you're coming off a 9-4 season, and we're one of the most popular coaches in the country. Now, fair.
I'm popular now, just the wrong way.
Well, I was gonna say fair or not.
I'm hot.
I was wondering, fair or not, like you are popping up on those lists. How do you think about the way
I'm
narrative?
like start of the list.
Some entertaining stuff coming from Coach Pittman. I mean, I guess he knew what the question was going to lead to, and kind of cuts off the reporter and just goes to the heart of the matter. And that's a guy who's going to ask a question about a coach being on the hot seat without actually using the terminology and trying to be very respectful about it. But Sam Pittman knows exactly where he was leading to right there, and I think he handled it with the usual sort of attempted humor that he would attempt, at least in a happy moment. So I can appreciate him being pretty upfront about that, because all you got to do, looks like he was at least, somebody has shown him the list, right? There's the Dennis Dodd list that the hottest seat in the country is under Coach Pittman. So somebody must have shown it to him, but he's also got to be self-aware, the situation with the program.
Well, you know, Armstrong will be he's returning, so he was part of that group last year, and that's one of the things you want to ask is the stability that offense. You know, what was the disconnect? What was was it talent or was it execution? And I think when you go out and get a Bobby Petrino, Phil, you're hoping that that solves itself, that you can execute because you have a little stability. I mean, you know that they're not going to fire Bobby Petrino after 7 games.
Well, I think it's also a matter of those who have to do the executing to believe in the person that is asking them to execute said play and feeling that it's the right call and feeling like what they practiced is what they're going to actually put into practice in the game itself. So, I mean, all these things seem to work together, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, it is. And I wonder what the difference is. You know, I wonder what the big change is. That'd be one thing. You know, what's different about this year than last year? You know, is their personality a lot different? Are they using some of the same terminology? Are you running some of this? How much did the playbook change, I guess? How much when he comes in and you get a new coach, is it a totally different playbook, or are you still running about half the same plays? You're just using different terminology, and it's about when you run the plays. You know, third down efficiency, red zone efficiency. You got to be able to get some chunk plays. You got to be able to run the ball. That's one thing that we could not do last year. Did we have a 100-yard rusher at all? Maybe at the Florida game we
I think
won.
It was Augustive.
Well, no. Did Rocket? Did he have 100 yards in his hometown at Florida? He didn't see. That's all conference. You got to have some. You got to be able to run the ball if you want to open up the offense.
Sam Pittman discussing Bobby Petrino, maybe the most famous offensive coordinator hire in the nation this last year.
We have a new coordinator, Bobby Petrino. You're familiar with football. You're familiar with Bobby Petrino. He loves the hog. He likes to win. He likes to score points. Bobby's been a great resource for me. I think he's a wonderful offensive coordinator. He also was a very successful head coach, and so there's a lot of times where I'm able to run things by him, and we decide collectively at times what's best for the University of Arkansas football team.
Yeah, he did mention about having Barry Odom as somebody to bounce something off of. Now the same idea with Bobby Petrino. That was lacking last year, and that was something that I don't know if I believed it was that necessary. A lot of texters thought that was an issue for him last year, and apparently it was. And here is, you got to expect, I mean, if you bring somebody in like Bobby Petrino, and you do wonder about the sort of freedom he had to run his offense at A&M last year under Jimbo Fisher, you got to give him plenty of freedom right now to run his offense at Arkansas.
I would want to work with me if I was an offensive coordinator, because I'm going to let you go get them. Now, I've got my ideas, and I'm going to come in. I'm going to have my tape up there, and I'm going to go, okay, I see this, I see this, I see this. I would think if you asked Bobby and Travis and Scott Fountain, they'd say he gives me the freedom to run what I think's best. And I don't know about A&M. I don't know that. I just know that we've given him the freedom to go score points.
I feel like that can go to your detriment sometimes. You know, I mean, maybe that was the case last year, hiring a good friend in Dan Enos and letting him run his offense the way that he sees fit. But then when you heard some of Coach Pittman's answers in the weekly press conferences or post-game conferences, just not sure if they were on the same page. Got to be on the same page with Bobby Petrino. And I just imagine, hey, you bring in an author like that to write a book about offense, well, be on the same page. Say, what page would you like me to be on right now?
I agree with them. I mean, it's going to be good when you get in those situations that, hey, we're at the 28-yard line. What's the score? You know, how's the flow of the game been going? Because everything's so situational. You know, do they have their starting quarterback? Do we have our starting quarterback? Have we been able to get stops at all this game? Is it going to be a low-scoring game? Should we kick the 3 right now? There's a lot of decisions that go in it. Hey, what play are we going to run on second down? Because if we don't get it, we need the clock to continue to run so we can kick the field. You know, there's a lot of little conversations that will go on back and forth.
Personnel-wise last year, you know, there were issues. Like you can complain about play calling, but the offensive line just wasn't blocking. You know, there was an issue with wide receivers getting open and creating some separation. I mean, how much does that have to do with coaching, or does that have to do with personnel that either, you know, weren't quite ready for the SEC or just weren't good enough to perform at that level? And that's something that Man, you got to get some separation right now. And I know Armstrong's going to be good this next year. There's got to be 2 or 3 other receivers that can get away from a defensive back. Speed obviously is one big aspect about it, Matt. But then I also wonder about the influence of the offense and Bobby Petrino and how they're able to coach wide receivers and tight ends to get open. I think getting open was an issue for the team at times last year, and hopefully it's not again.
Well, and as for a receiver too, Phil, the one of the best things you can do is be able to block. I think Armstrong can do that as well. I think you look at getting Tesla. I think that's another thing he does well. If you get him inside, he is a bigger body getting the way. And as a blocker, this is a statement I heard in 7th grade that's still true to this day, Phil. All you have to do is get a tie. All you have to do is get a tie. You don't have to kick his ass. You don't have to bury him into the ground. You just got to get a tie. So it's effort. It's a little bit like rebounding in basketball. It's kind of effort. We're all talented out there, but if you can get a tie, you got an SEC running back getting arm tackled, you're going to have to transfer and change your major because there's no excuses for an SEC running back to be getting arm tackled.
But when you talk about the biggest struggle for Arkansas last year, it was on the offensive side. It was on the offensive line, and Sam Pittman did address how he and Eric Mateos tried to fix that over the offseason.
Talent-wise, we had to do better recruiting. We had to go out and get 2 tackles. We have a player in Kudus that I really like. He lost his confidence out there. He was the best we had, but he lost his confidence out there. We move him inside. He's a heck of a player. He's one of the strongest guys on the team. Junior Carmona, Blackstock, and Nichols, those 3 guys, they're a little bit like Taylor Green in that his leadership is incredible, but they are too. And when you have guys that don't just want to play on the O-line, but they want to lead, and they want to say, hey, look, bro, we got to go. We got to go. We got to go. We got to go. We got to do this. We extra here. When you have those guys in there, which we have, leading like that, I think that you can get a lot better.
I think part of the issue last year, Matt, was also lack of experience at certain positions, specifically at tackles last year. You were dealing with very young players at those positions, and you're getting older. Maybe not in terms of Division I experience. Thinking of Keyshawn Blackstock, I don't know if he's played any Division I football yet. I know that he was committed to go to Michigan State, and then ends up. He might have gotten on the field a little bit with them last year, just not to a great extent. Carmona, there's someone that has played a lot of Division I football, but it's been Mountain West, so a step up there. And the kid from Tennessee, Nichols, well, there's somebody that was recruited to play SEC football, and now he's going to get his opportunity to do it. So, the first thing he said, Matt, it wasn't a matter of scheming. It wasn't a matter of the offensive coordinator. It was just a matter of personnel and the talent. And I think the age of these players, too, hopefully will pay some dividends.
Well, and we talked about that last year, talent or effort. And this team fought. They did. It wasn't a lack of effort. It was a lack of talent. And so I'm glad that they went and addressed that. And to your point, Phil, didn't that kid from Michigan State, didn't their head coach get fired? It was some type of deal last year. So there was a little bit of
Mel Tucker. Yeah.
So
the whole Mel Tucker situation.
That was kind of a talk about stability or unstable, So now I think who your defensive coordinator is. That's the thing that last year, we did not know. We didn't have an identity on offense. We had no idea who we were on offense. You're going to know that this year, and I think that'd be very beneficial.
It does kind of start with an offensive line, right? If you don't have a line that can block on a consistent basis, whether for your quarterback or for your running backs, what exactly do you have? So, that can change things pretty dramatically. Now, you got a lot of change on this offense. You probably got a new feature running back with Jaquindon Jackson. I don't think you'll have a change as far as the leading receiver is concerned, but behind him, you get guys that are returning, that are looking to take a big step forward, thinking of Tyrone Broden, thinking of Isaiah Satania, Isaac Tesla to take a big step forward. And then I'm going to be excited to watch Monty Harrison when we get the opportunity, and we might ask about him when Armstrong is there, just about having somebody that's like 10 years older than everybody else on the team, but he's a freshman at the same time, which has to be a really interesting situation for him. 877-377-6963. Anytime you want to get with us here on Halftime. Can't take any calls right now, but we can take your texts. And Josh says he hates Texas more than he likes anything. So there's one person that really feels negatively about Texas more so than he feels positively about his team. Sam Pittman also talking, and we talk so much about offensive philosophy, defensive philosophy under Travis Williams.
You know, I had a question earlier today about close games, tight games. Some of our discussion has been about our aggressiveness during the end of games defensively. I think Travis did a wonderful job for us last year, but I don't want to handcuff him either. I do think we're a little bit better at corner and a little bit better in the safety spot to be able to cover zero, cover true man.
Well, right there talking about a position of strength, I think, when you're looking at the secondary and your safeties and your cornerbacks. Got a really good group there, it looks like, with Jalen Braxton and Jaheim Singletary. Danico Slaughter coming in from Tennessee. That's somebody I think will pay some dividends. Keon Stewart, Marquise Robinson at cornerback. Your safeties, you've got some guys who've been around a bit in Hudson Clark. Jaden Johnson, I think, can take a big step forward, and he had some moments last year as well. But, Matt, he mentioned the close losses, and that's been an unfortunate hallmark in the 4 years under Sam Pittman. It's not just the 1-5 under last year in games decided by a single score. 20 games decided by at least a single score in the last 4 years. 14 of those have been losses.
We lost 5 one-score games, but I think it's going to be consistency, better game planning. We've got to be able to run the football, but I think we can capitalize on that. I really like this team. I really do, and I'm not trying to win media days. You guys know me. I'm just going to tell you how I feel, and I really like this team, and I think with the culture and the tightness of the team, I think you can win those games a little bit easier than if it's the other way.
1-5 last year, 2-4 the year before. Best record in single score games, 2-2 during the 2021 season. That's got to be a thing that turns around as well. Not saying you got to go 5-1 in games decided by a single score, but you probably got to win as many as you lose, because that's where your season takes shape. It's not the blowouts, because those are actually rare. Last year's team, you didn't have that many blowouts until you got to the matter where the rope fell in November, when it just looked like things fell apart. Your season is decided by your close games. And this next year, even with a daunting schedule, I'm not going to say like you'll have half of them decided by a single score, but each of the last 2 years, 12 games, 6 of them each year decided by 7 points or fewer. So just going by that, you're going to have a lot of them again.
Well, it's the little things in that, and when it's the one-score games, which that's a good thing. If you're in one-score games, you're giving yourself a chance. You have to know your assignment. To win one-score games, you can't have unforced errors. You got the errors you can have are effort errors, but you can't just not know your assignment. You got to take care of the little things. And I keep harping on this because I think this would be the biggest thing. It'll be our offense. Can we stay on the field on third down, and can our defense get off the field on third down? That's what helps decide those one-score games. If you can win that, you win the turnover battle, and then you can win the third down battle. You can have a better third down conversion and give yourself chances to be above 50% converting your third downs. And then if you can get off the field, whether it being able to play cover 1 or cover 0 and bring pressure, or if it's a zone blitz, whatever Travis dials up, that'd be key right there.
Seared ahi tuna tacos and grilled Mediterranean branzini are the specials all month long at Fish City Grill in Rogers. Mango relish, avocado ranch for the seared ahi tuna tacos, served with Cuban black beans and rice. And the weather has taken a nice cool turn. Patio weather right now, full service, covers outside. That's Fish City Grill on South Bellevue Road in Rogers. You can call for curbside pickup or delivery, 479-636-8833, fishcitygrill.com. Back with more Halftime in just a moment.
This is Halftime. ESPN Arkansas is kicking off college football live from Radio Row in Dallas, Texas at SEC Media Days. Our shows provide insight on player and coach interviews, including special moments throughout the entire week. Make sure to tune in to the Morning Rush, Halftime, and Ruskin and Zach to get this unique coverage presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback, WT Equipment, and Limbird Real Estate Group. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life. ESPN 95.3 is live on location.
Christian Johnston here at the Hardee's location at 1820 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. I'll be out here until 1 p.m. today trying to get you guys to qualify for the football trip of a lifetime presented by Hardee's, ESPN Arkansas, and hitthatline.com. It's that time of the year. Once again, can you eat a Monster Burger in 150 seconds or less? I'll be out here again until 1 p.m. today. This is our first lunch qualifier. And again, this year's matchup, the Dallas Cowboys and Philadelphia Eagles, a bitter NFC East rivalry going on. If you want to go on that trip, you've got to qualify first. You got to eat a Monster Burger in 150 seconds or less. Come by and see us at 1820 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith.
The good old summertime is here, and Jelco Outdoors is ready to help you have a great time. Going fishing? Jelco has one of the largest selections of fishing equipment and gear for your day on the water. Taking a vacation? Jelco has a great selection of casual shirts, shorts, and comfortable shoes to make your vacation one to remember. Fall is not far away, so start getting your bows and guns ready for fall. Jelco Outdoors, your store for all season. Have a great summer. From Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
There's more to a tractor than just horsepower. A tractor also needs weight to get that horsepower to the ground. With TYM, a heavier tractor comes standard. Many of the TYM models weigh more for the horsepower than comparable tractors from the big names, and tractors that weigh more do more. See Bush Tractor at their new location at 6100 South Zero in Fort Smith, or log on to bushtractor.com to see how they can upgrade your productivity.
Family, that's what sets us apart. Crabtree RV Center, founded in 1950 by E.J. and Allen Crabtree, family owned and operated, serving Arkansas for 74 years.
I've been working full-time here at Crabtree RV since 1996 after graduating from the University of Arkansas, where I'm proud to carry on my grandparents' legacy.
I know if Mom and Dad could see Crabtree RVs today, they would be so proud.
Crabtree RV Center in Alma, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
Hi everybody, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center with the exciting news. Backed by popular demand, state sales tax paid when you trade on our huge inventory of road-ready certified vehicles. That's right, this month get the best used car your money can buy, road-ready certified with warranty, and get your state sales tax paid when you trade. One more reason all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, just north of Phoenix on Towson, Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Well, we're living here and now.
closing of the factories down. In Bethlehem, they're filling time, filling airports, sending life. From the Second World War, spend their weekends on the Jersey Shore. Yeah, our mothers in the U.S. so sleep and dance with the flow. And we're living here in Allentown. But the rest is just was handed on Twitter at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
All right, we are expecting to get some Razorback players very soon here on halftime. But I mean, it's like Matt, you've been to SEC Media Days.
It's a lot of hurry up and wait. Yeah.
Well, take a guess, like an estimate of the number of interviews you did that day.
Oh man, it's I'm sure there's more people now, Phil, but it is Radio Row. I want to say every team that you're playing against, you kind of look at the schedule. So every SEC team you're playing against has somebody there. They want to grab you. They want to talk about it. And then you go into the big room. I remember you have to go in there and talk for 5 or 10 minutes. And then you just kind of you're always kind of together though, but it's a lot of hurry up and wait.
Now keep in mind too, that was before when you were at SEC Media Days, the league didn't have 16 members. It had 12.
I want to say it was either 2 or 3 teams is all it went to. Maybe it was 4, but for some reason it doesn't seem like it wasn't as big as it is now.
Well, there also wasn't an SEC network then either, which is
fair enough.
That's their programming this week is literally everything going on there. Everything. I mean, they're going to have a whole highlight reel by the time it's done, almost like it's one shining moment at the end of the basketball tournament. Just like put all the highlights out there. Oh, you remember when Lane Kiffin and Paul Feinbaum went at each other? And I don't have the audio of that. Unfortunately, I did hear it a little low. They had a little. They do not like each other, and it gets. They have to talk. I mean, I guess it's part of the contract that every coach has to go on Feinbaum. But Kiffin is sitting there with him, and he's basically like accusing him of getting him fired when he was at USC by calling him what was the term? The Miley Cyrus of college football. And then Kiffin took a dig at Feinbaum about how he's wrong about everything. And I'm just sitting here watching this like
I like it.
This is it's a little bit uncomfortable, but man, this is the reason that I turn the television on. Those are like the moments that matter, not the answer that is the same, 15, 20 times you give the same answer. That was a big raw moment.
Well, I don't know that Paul Feinbaum's an athlete or ever was, but he's good at whatever his stick is right now, and I think it's a little. I mean, you have to Lane has to take responsibility for getting fired at USC. I don't know. You win more games, you do better, you keep your job.
Yeah, no, I mean that's true. That's true.
But I like it. I like the pettiness. I like that they're kind of like.
That's what it is. It's a pettiness.
I like it.
That's exactly right. I mean, Feinbaum's got his favorites. Definitely has his favorites, and Kiffin's not one of them.
Phil, last year the whole talk was A&M was going to be the dumpster fire. We're like, when is it going to happen? When is this? The Ole Miss thing this year. It's not when, it's if, because we don't know. It might not happen. They might go 10-2, but if it happens and they struggle and lose some games, you want to talk about firecracker. It will be wild.
Speaking of firecracker, I think we've got one here on our broadcast right now. Taylen Green, Arkansas quarterback, transferring in from Boise State, has I think put a headset on there at Radio Row. Taylen, do we have you?
Yes, sir.
How are you? This is Phil Elson. Matt Jones here with me as well. It's halftime. ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com, where you're on right now. It means you're talking to a lot of Razorback fans right now. And everybody's really eager to see you get on the field. You got to be eager to play, but man, must feel like a long ways off until that first game, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. We're lifting weights. You know how summer workouts go. So, we're just excited to, start this thing, get this thing rolling. Fall camp starts in about a week and a half, 2 weeks. So putting the pads on, throwing the football, we're excited.
Taylen, Matt Jones here, man. Big fan. How have summer workouts been? How has it been learning? How was spring ball and learning Coach Petrino's offense?
It was pretty good. Just being a sponge. Right when I got here, I already knew I had a lot to learn, but, I was, in the film room, just any opportunity I got to meet with Petrino, I took it. And, just the summer's going really well. They're actually giving us, opportunities to lead because, some of the coaches aren't there. So it puts more pressure on me, which I like, with communication and making sure everybody's on the same page and everybody's running the right play. And, because that's what we need, on Saturday, because Coach Petrino's not going to be on the field, so it's really cool. The strength staff is amazing. I lost 11 pounds, 11 pounds of fat and gained 10 pounds of muscle. So I'm like the leanest, but also, kept my speed, and I'm about 230 now, which I was about 220, about 222 last season. So I'm keeping that speed up and that strength up. So I'm excited.
What excites you the most out of a Coach Petrino offense? How much control do you get at the line of scrimmage? When he calls in a play, is there a run play with the mirrored pass play, or is there just one play? How does he call in a play, and how much do you get to kind of change or mess with the play or make sure that we're in the right play when you get up to the line of scrimmage?
Yeah, he gives me a lot of freedom to change plays, but it comes with trust. It comes with those film rooms and those meeting rooms, and in the meeting room he's asking about 20-30 questions each meeting time. So he's making sure you know your stuff, because he's not going, if he doesn't feel comfortable of me doing it, then he's not going to call those type of plays. But it all comes from a quarterback OC trust and building that communication, and I feel like from the 6-7 months I've been here, I've gained so much understanding and so much knowledge of just the game, and that's what I'm excited about, and that's what the when you play, that's when the game slows down, is when you already know what the defense is doing, or you already know from just the film, and that's what I'm excited about.
Taylor, it might be a little difficult to answer this because you haven't played a game since you were at Boise, but I'm just wondering, over the offseason, what do you feel you've improved on the most, and how did you get to that point? Or can you even answer that question? Maybe the proper question is, what do you hope to improve on the most from last year?
I would say first, just like I talked about, just my understanding of why plays are called and what Petrino's thinking, just being on the same page with Petrino. And I want to, improve my footwork and just being sound and stick to my fundamentals, and just distributing the ball, to the playmakers that I have, because I got playmakers on, whether it's receiver, tight end, or running back, and I just got to do my job and give it to them on time and let them do the rest.
It feels, Coach Petrino talked about, he'd recruited you and he was the head coach at Missouri State, and then you ended up going somewhere else to Boise State, to a higher level of football, but it almost feels like this was a relationship that was meant to come together at some point. It's just, you might not have thought it would be in the SEC, but he went out and, like we hear, handpicked you. That's one of the things I think fans are just really excited about, is that he's wanted you for a long time. He's a great offensive coordinator, and now you guys get a chance to work together.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's like a 360. I was talking to my parents about, I'm definitely honored and grateful, for the vision that he has and the belief that I have, and I don't take that for granted. I came here with a job to do, and I'm gonna do it to the best of my abilities.
Hey, Taylor, talk about your receiver that's there with you in Armstrong, and what kind of dynamic player is he, and what does he bring to the table?
He's a player that is versatile. You can throw him a receiver screen, he's going to take it 15-20 yards. He might crib it, you don't know. Deep threat, you can do a go, post, slant. He's somebody that when you throw the ball to and he gets his hands on it, he's going to catch it. And I definitely saw it in practice, and I know Hog fans saw it last year and in the spring game, and those couple catches that he did. And so I'm definitely excited for the season that he's about to have.
I saw you just beat him in EA Sports College Football, didn't you?
Hey, he don't want to talk about that though.
I'm sure. Yeah, we might bring it up when we have him on the show in just a little bit.
Okay, because he don't want to talk about that one. He want to talk about all the times he winning.
I got to ask you about the game real quick here. I mean, so you get to play. Yeah, I'm assuming you played as Arkansas. I think you did. But I mean, what is it like to play yourself? Like that's Taylon Green controlling Taylon Green on a screen.
No, it's pretty cool. It hasn't all the way hit me yet, but it's pretty cool to have my name and number, and just people just can play me, and that's what I'm excited. And Drew was talking about how realistic it is, game day, at home, and that's what another thing I'm excited about is just to play at home in front of the Arkansas crowd. That's what we're working towards. Is just taking it day by day.
Hey Taylon, are you a headphone guy before a game, pre-game? Is there what kind of music is going through your headphones?
Okay, that's a good question. I would say, like in the morning, I listen to like some gospel or some praise and worship. Then like game day, like it has to be like 30 minutes before just to get me hyped. Because if I'm too hyped before, then I'm a mellow down. So I gotta get hyped like 30 minutes before. So I listen to either like some Lecrae, some Gunna, some Lil Baby, something like that.
I like it.
We're just building a playlist to play during the second hour of the show. We appreciate your help with that.
For sure.
It's just we'll probably have to play radio edits in some cases, I would imagine. Hey, you're from. I mean, you're going to be like, what, about 40 miles away from home, from Louisville? I mean, it is a return home for you, isn't it?
It is. Drew's going to say it's not, but it's okay. I keep telling him I'm from North Dallas. He's from South Dallas. But it's cool to be. It's cool to be close to home. I love Louisville. I say it always has my heart, so I love it.
Well, so I mean, I know you're worried more about the UAPB game right now than any other game, but A&M and Texas, you get to play against two schools. You probably grew up with a lot of those kids that you might know some of those kids too. I mean, those are months away in some cases, but I mean, you've got to be pretty fired up about those two games.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited, for the opportunity for those games. Of course, A&M's back in Dallas, so I'm going to have a lot of people, a lot of family, and a lot of friends there. So I'm definitely excited for the opportunity. But like you said, we're just taking it day by day and practice by practice, and we're just going to control what we can control.
Taylon, we'll leave it there. We're up against the commercial break. Really appreciate your time coming on with us today. Good luck the rest of the day, and we're excited to watch you play for Arkansas.
Appreciate it. I want to say shout out to Matt Jones. I know I get a lot of comparisons, and I'm going to try to be like you, my boy.
Man, do your thing, man. I'm on your side, bro.
For sure.
That's great. Taylon Green with us here on Halftime. All right, we'll come back, wrap up hour number 1 in just a moment.
This is Halftime. ESPN 95.3 is live on location.
Christian Johnston here at Hardee's at 1820 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. Do you have what it takes to win the football trip of a lifetime? Well, first of all, let me tell you this. It's the Dallas Cowboys and Philadelphia Eagles. Yes, two teams that absolutely hate each other. I'm a big Cowboys fan. I would love to go to this. I know there's a lot of Cowboy fans out there. Come on. Give it your best shot, a monster burger in 150 seconds or less. You can do this. It's the 19th annual football trip of a lifetime. It's brought to you by Hardee's, ESPN Arkansas, and HitThatLine.com. I'll be out here until 1 p.m. again. I'm at the Hardee's location at 1820 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. Come by and see us.
Waiting on someone to bale your hay? Come in to Gray Brothers Equipment and let us show you how affordable owning your own Kubota hay equipment can be. Bale your hay when it's ready, not when it's burned up. With economical pricing at Gray Brothers and affordable interest rates from Kubota, this year is the year to bale your own hay. That's Gray Brothers Equipment in Fort Smith and Poto, where if you pick orange, you'll never get a lemon.
adventures await you at Adventure Oklahoma at Auto Finders Highway 64 in Roland. Introducing Segway UTVs. Fear no plates with high-tech power sports from Segway. See the lineup of CF Moto and Arctic Cat 2 at Adventure Oklahoma at Auto Finders. You say you want something a little wetter? Well, think summer on a G3 boat or Suncatcher pontoon boat. Financing available all ATVs and boats. Get your summer adventure started today at Adventure Oklahoma at Auto Finders Highway 64 Roland. See autofindersok.com.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit, is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
This is a public service announcement for hard seltzer lovers. Neutral Vodka Seltzer has arrived. Made with simple ingredients like vodka, seltzer, and real juice. Neutral tastes good. Like real good. So good that you'll never want to drink another artificial tasting seltzer again. Neutral's light and refreshing taste will show you what a vodka seltzer can be. Try Neutral, the one with the umlaut. Copyright 2023 Neutral Distilled Spirit Specialty, Los Angeles, California. Enjoy responsibly.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
All right, as we come back into halftime and wrap up, you can tell the timing's just a little bit off. You got to do stuff like that when you've got players that are coming over to speak to you, and he happens to be the starting quarterback for the Razorbacks, so we had to push that segment just a little bit long. That means this will be probably the quickest segment in the history of halftime, all of about 45 to 50 seconds or so. We expect Landon Jackson to join halftime at the top of the hour. Arkansas's top defensive end and one of the best in the nation, joining halftime right after this.
This summer at Hardee's, the BLT gets an upgrade with the new Frisco BLT Angus Burger and Frisco BLT hand-breaded chicken sandwich. The classic flavors of bacon, lettuce, and tomato, atop a famous charbroiled burger or signature hand-breaded chicken sandwich, all between 2 thick slices of toasted sourdough. Only for a limited time at Hardee's. Goodness in the making. Order ahead on the Hardee's app. Participation may vary. Exclusions apply by time of day.
Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family, from general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Davis, and Farmer give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confident, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Now offering same-day crowns. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
And we're back with the action. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. With an irresistible taste and zero sugar, Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any sports fan. So make sure you... Wait, Jim, I didn't mean try it right now. We're still on the air.
Best Coke ever? Take a taste, Jen.
Really?
No, not right now, Jen. We got a game to call.
Whether it's torque, horsepower, or just extreme work, diesel trucks do their job. Well, when your diesel truck needs maintenance or repair, it's time to head to Extreme Diesel. Everything from standard maintenance to extreme repairs, including injector testing. Extreme Diesel delivers. They have the tools and service for your Cummins, Duramax, or Power Stroke. You trust your truck to deliver on your needs, and you can trust your truck at Extreme Diesel, 6630 Alma Highway between Van Buren and Alma. Check them out on Facebook or give them a call at 651-3363. They're bilingual, now offering CP4 solutions for both Chevy and Ford.
Let's see. Leaky faucet Tuesday. Water flooding the yard. Better put that down for the middle of the month when the bills aren't due.
Honey, what are you doing?
Planning our plumbing problems, of course.
You can't plan our plumbing problems, but you should plan our plumber.
What do you mean?
Like all important contacts, I keep Westart Plumbing in my phone. They're always there when we need them, and they don't overcharge since they know we don't plan our plumbing problems. Here, honey, here's their number.
646-5151. Thanks, babe.
Westart Plumbing. We keep you flowing.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we will see periods of sunshine across the north, some showers and thunderstorms across the south, highs today in the lower 80s. Everybody dries out tonight, low to mid 60s, and then sunshine Friday, a high into the lower 80s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Come Get You Some, Arkansas's
KERX
premier
Paris
off-road
Sportsman.
superstore. Call 782-MUD today. Arkansas football begins in 42 days. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios.
Streaming on hitthatline.com. We got a good one tonight. You got to take it in hand. That's the perspective. If I'm all right. What can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Well, take it to the house. And the dunk.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. My heart, dog. Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no mock at halftime.
For one Razorback. And vintage Matt Jones. Here we go. Right now, let's take the field.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Welcome back to halftime at 1 minute after 12 o'clock on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Halftime continues. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, Colton Pierce in the producer's chair, and we will head right to SEC Media Days at Radio Row in Dallas. Arkansas defensive end Landon Jackson joining us from Radio Row. Landon, appreciate you coming on today. I know it's a really busy day. How are you?
Appreciate y'all having me. I'm doing great.
So is this fun today, or is this work? How does it feel today? It's like dozens of interviews.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity, getting to really, just talk with everybody, kind of let everything be known about our team this coming year. And, it's a blessing, so I enjoy it.
Hey, Landon, Matt Jones here, big fan of yours, man. Hey, on the defensive side of the ball this year and having Travis Williams in year 2, what can we expect, and what have you learned from Travis Williams?
Yeah, really just, you're going to see a really energetic team, a team that's flying around, making plays, And the biggest thing I've learned from him is, how to battle adversity, When it's not going our way, you just got to keep fighting, You just got to keep going. And I think that's something that we definitely got to do even more this coming year. And I feel like we had a decent year last year as a defense, but I feel like we could really step it up this year and really let it be known who we are.
That's a good point right there, and I think so too. And I think you have to work well with the offense, and there was a lot of load on y'all's shoulders last year. What have you noticed in spring ball and summer workouts that maybe is a little bit different, or that gets you excited about this Arkansas offense this year?
Yeah, Coach Petrino came in, and our offense, I love the way our offense looks. I love his style of play. I love how he got Talon in, and Talon fits great within his offense. And, really, it's got a lot of leadership over there, Guys like Fernando Carmona, Jaquindon Jackson came in and immediately stepped right in and are getting the job done. So I'm ready to see how they do whenever we're playing somebody besides ourselves, you know?
Absolutely.
Well, tell me about the leadership on your side of the ball. You know, you're a
Yeah.
senior. This is your third year with this
Oh,
program.
yeah.
You're thinking of guys like Jaden Johnston, you know, guys that have been around this program for a while. Do you view yourself the same way?
Yeah, no, I think overall we just got we got a veteran team, you know. We got a lot of older guys who are, a lot of us on the defensive side are more so guys who have been here and just pissed off and just ready to get a winning season under our belt, you know. So, guys like Cam Ball, Eric Gregory, Jaden Johnson, Hudson Clark, they've only seen one good season here, really, you know. So we're really trying to, change that around and give the state what they want, you know. So that's our biggest thing, and I think as a defense, we've been together real well. Guys like Steven Dix, Larry have came in and are really stepping up the linebacker position. So,
Landon, one of the things I love about your game is you're not a one-trick pony. It's not just, hey, rush the edge. You can rush the passer, but you can also set the edge and defend the run.
Yeah.
What do you feel like you've grown at this summer, and what's kind of some of your goals this year?
I think what I've grown at most is kind of a secondary pass rush move. I've really developed it more, I feel like, over this offseason to, just working counter moves and then also being able to really just not stall out, just be able to keep going and everything.
What is the process of figuring out a secondary move like for a defensive end? What goes into that?
A big part of it is really just not stopping. Like, the first one doesn't hit, keep going, you know. And other than that, just really studying other moves and trying to break them all down and get a good feel for them, and to where you fully understand what you're good at, what you're not as good at, and do what you're good at.
Hey, who are some of the teammates maybe that us fans don't know about yet that came over in the portal? I know you mentioned the running back Jackson from Utah. Who's some of the guys on defense that we're going to get to see that you're excited to watch fly around the field?
Yeah, Steven Dix for sure. Danico Slaughter is another one. Anton's been very good as well. I think those guys will play a big part in our defense. And, overall, I think we have a really good team.
Well, you brought up the idea of some of the experience you've got on that defensive line. And, look at the experience of these guys. Gregory, Keevy Rose, Cam Ball. Junkaj has a lot of experience too, but it's not Division I FBS experience, and that's one of the things I'm interested in seeing is how that translates from FCS to FBS. We've seen some defenders come up from that level and really do very well and even get to the NFL. Tell me about Junkaj. What have you seen from him?
Oh, he plays. He has a motor. His head's on fire when he's playing. He flies around, and he still has. He's been cleaning up a little of his pass rush, but overall, he just plays real hard, and he's a ball hawk. Finds his way around. He's always around the ball. So that's big time at this level because there's a lot of good players on offense who are able to break tackles. You need a guy who's always around the ball that can make that play if the first tackle's missed. You know, so I think I really think he'll translate well to this league. I hope so, but I don't know if we'll have 17 sacks again because that's just insane.
That's just a crazy number.
But I do think he'll have a very successful season.
Hey, Landon, this video game came out. It's been, 12, 13 years since the NCAA video game. I don't know if you're a gamer, but if you are, but who's the best? Who's the best at the video game on the team?
Oh, Eric Gregory. Nobody's coming close to Eric.
What do you think? Does he put in extra time, or is it just like a talent level? Is he just a five-star?
He's always been real good at Madden and games like that. It'd be him or Akari Johnson, a freshman from where I'm from, is actually really good at it as well. So really those two, I feel like.
College sports are changing dramatically, and this can be your last year. You're whatever happens this year, you're going on to the NFL, and there's bigger and better things and bigger paydays for you. But you're in an era now where you play college football in an era where the ground has constantly been changing under your feet. This is not the same industry that it was 4 years ago when you're still being recruited. And it's going to change again once you get to the NFL, I think. It'll change dramatically in college. You know, this era that you played in college football, Landon, I think is unique and will be viewed that way. And I wonder how it's been for you, you know, with the changes in the league, you know, teams moving around to different leagues and NIL becoming such a very important thing and the transfer portal taking over.
Yeah, I mean, no, overall it is. That honestly, I feel like has made it go by so much faster for me. You know, just constant change. You know, we come right in and it's COVID. We're getting swabbed every day, and then right after that, all the conference changes. You get NIL happening, and then there's a video game made again. I mean, it's something that just stuff keeps happening, and I mean, I love it. I know. I mean, it's been great for the future of college football, and I think it's all of it's for the best of college football. And I mean, I tell my brother all the time. He's a senior in high school, and I was like, man, I wish I could have came into college football when you're going in now after all the change.
Yeah,
So-
he headed up in Texas, didn't he?
Yeah. Yep.
That game's gonna have a huge juice no matter what, and it's a game in November, so it's not like we're doing a preview. But you know, you see each other on the field at the same time.
He actually won't be there until after this season.
Okay.
But yep, I'll definitely be watching though.
Is this going to be a defense? I hear so often that what is key is for the corners to be able to cover one-on-one.
Yeah.
And that can leave T. Will maybe to dial up some blitzes, get to the quarterback. Is this a team where you feel you can trust your cornerbacks to cover one-on-one?
Yeah, I personally believe so. I think Jalen Braxton is, I mean, one of the top corners in the country. So I do feel like we could definitely, our corners could definitely cover one-on-one, and that'll allow us to get more opportunities as well, because those linemen won't be able to double and triple team us, you know. So I do feel like our DBs are, I mean, they are, I mean, it starts with the coaching, though. Coach Woodson makes sure those guys, are on point. So I think it's definitely going to show come season.
All right, Landon, before a game, 30 minutes before a game or pregame, what's on the iPod? What are you listening to before you go out there?
Honestly, I really don't listen to a whole lot of music before games. I like to feel the vibe and
take it all in.
Yeah, feel the energy in the locker room. I like, seeing everybody else listening to the music. It's like the calm before the storm, you know. So I just relax and I get taped, get dressed, and just kind of chill in my locker. Will text my wife a little bit, say goodbye to her, this and that, and just kind of take it all in and enjoy the moment, you know, because, I mean, you're only, in this sport, you're only promised week by week. Every time you step on that field, you're not promised another game. You're not promised another practice. So I try to embrace every moment I get.
How long you been married?
I got married back in April.
All right.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That makes it a pretty important offseason.
That's a good spring.
Had to do that. Had to do that in spring ball though, or after spring ball was over.
Oh, yeah. Yep. No, I actually had to miss a spring ball practice because I was getting married on the same day.
Isn't that funny how things work out? But that's an excused
cool.
absence, isn't it?
Yep, it is.
Did you get to go on a honeymoon, or is that till after the season? Where'd you go?
I did in May. We went to Turks and Caicos.
That's a beautiful island.
Yep. No,
Well
it
done.
was a lot of fun.
That's outstanding. Landon, we'll let you go. I appreciate you hopping on with us. Good luck the rest of the day, and we're looking forward to seeing you and the rest of the team against UAPB and the rest of the season. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you all.
Thanks, Landon.
Landon Jackson, Arkansas defensive end, with us today, and we do expect we'll be speaking with Andrew Armstrong later on in this hour of halftime as well. I've had a couple of these guys have been great. I don't feel we've been getting too many manufactured answers that was said over and over again. They're thoughtful kids.
There's a reason they got brought to Dallas. They sounds like they know what they're doing. Sound like they got a good head on their shoulders. I like it, Phil, that there's certain guys and everything's situational, but sometimes you don't really listen to music 30 minutes. You got to take it all in and kind of see what's going on. And it's kind of like if you work out. Sometimes when you work out, you don't like to listen to music. Sometimes you do.
The birds chirping and the cicadas screaming. It's always the kind of thing that gets me fired up when I'm on a run or a bike. Crabtree RV Center gets me fired up. They're in Alma. They'll help you find the perfect RV for your family's adventures. You find them at the junction of I-40 and I-49 in Alma beside the Cracker Barrel. They've been helping your family's dreams come true for over 70 years and 4 generations. crabtreerv.com to get a look at their entire RV inventory. Send us a text. Can't take any calls for the moment. 877-377-6963. Halftime will be back right after this.
This is Halftime. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
Broyle says, I'm going to take a nap. So he leans back and takes a nap, and his phone rings. And I don't know what to do. Do I wake him up? What do I do? So I didn't do anything. And then Coach Broyles woke up, called him back. I mean, he threw me under the bus.
My driver didn't wake me up.
Right there in the car. I didn't even have a name.
Don't miss the Morning Rush. Weekdays from 6 till 9. Only on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com. ESPN 95.3 is live on location.
Christian Johnston here at Hardee's, 1820 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. Come take your lunch with us. It's the football trip of a lifetime, going on 19th annual, and we'll be out here until 1 p.m. You've got to eat a Monster Burger in 150 seconds or less to qualify the game this year. You ready for this? The Dallas Cowboys and Philadelphia Eagles, an NFC East battle at AT&T Stadium. Do you want to see the Cowboys play? I know there's a lot of Cowboys fans out there, and if you're an Eagle fan, come try it. We'll be out here again until 1 p.m. It's the football trip of a lifetime, brought to you by Hardee's, ESPN Arkansas, and hitthatline.com. Come see us.
Clogs? Nobody wants a clog. West Ark Plumbing knows that clogs are a serious issue. They can signal that bigger problems are on the way. So contact West Ark Plumbing while the problem is small. Slow shower and sink drains, gurgling toilets, and outside cleanouts making a mess? Call 479-646-5151 today. West Ark Plumbing and expert drain cleaning since 1993. They keep you flowing. If you have slow drains or high water bills, call West Ark Plumbing and expert drain cleaning service. 646-5151.
When you need tough and paint just isn't enough, check out River City Coatings in Van Buren. When it comes to your metals, paint can peel and crack over time. Whether it's your patio furniture, rims or trims on your automobile, or heavy equipment, no one has time for a redo. Powder coating provides the toughness you need. Preserve your investment with powder coating from River City Coatings. River City Coatings, certified John Deere, Caterpillar, ISO 9001, Packer, and UL provider of tough. River City Coatings, 471-7675 or online at rivercitycoatings.com.
There's more to a tractor than just horsepower. A tractor also needs weight to get that horsepower to the ground. With TYM, a heavier tractor comes standard. Many of the TYM models weigh more for the horsepower than comparable tractors from the big names, and tractors that weigh more do more. See Bush Tractor at their new location at 6100 South Zero in Fort Smith, or log on to bushtractor.com to see how they can upgrade your productivity.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Check. Fire jumbo check. It wasn't easy, but nothing ends. No.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Back to Radio Row at SEC Media Days in Dallas at the Omni Hotel. We have right now Arkansas wide receiver Andrew Armstrong joining us on Halftime. Andrew, you got me, Phil Elson, Matt Jones as well. And I guess we should start with something you'd asked for during the break, which is an opportunity to set the record straight. I guess this has to do with our conversation earlier in the show with Taylen Green. So what is it you need to set straight?
I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, Taylen Green is an exceptional player on NCAA. But Taylen Green from Louisville, Texas, not Dallas, did not beat me in NCAA. He beat me. He was winning at halftime. I don't understand why he keeps saying he's beat me. You never win halftime games. That's cool. Like, you don't win halftime games. Where I'm from, Dallas, Texas, I don't know what they do in Louisville, but we play full four-quarter games.
No. He said it's just this drive, and after this drive, it's game over. And you know what I did? Scored with none other than Drew Armstrong.
As far as I've ever learned before, and I've been around football quite a bit here, basketball too. My other sport, baseball, we don't worry about the clock too often. But the score's not final until it's 4 zeros at the end of 4 quarters. That's the way
it was time constraint. It was time constraint.
And time constraint. I don't hear about time constraint, and we talk about 4 quarters, sir. And bowling, please stop telling me about bowling.
Okay,
you have your own bowling ball and don't even know how to bowl it, sir.
Yes, I do. You have your own bowling ball.
And I know how to bowl it. I'll put up 240. You haven't touched 200 in months.
Nah, not months, bro. That's crazy.
Matt, you and I don't need to be here right now.
I bowled at 199 one time.
Hey, 190. Okay.
I did a 199 once too. You telling me both of you guys can bowl a 200?
No, Taylor, you have never bowled a 200 since you've been in
Oh my, you're crazy, bro.
Do you hear this?
You hear the cap?
All right,
me and Tyrone Broden literally have the highest scores.
Okay, watch. We gonna go this weekend.
Bet.
I'm gonna bowl 200.
Bet. I'm gonna post on Twitter too, please.
Okay, I will.
I'm gonna be a little risky, and I'm still gonna beat you.
No, watch. Okay, we're gonna post it this weekend.
Are you two the most competitive of the teammates on the team?
Oh, got to be.
Yeah,
got to be.
I love it. Hey, Andrew, how has it been having a little more stability on the offensive side of the ball with Coach Petrino coming in? What are you expecting this year from a Coach Petrino offense?
Oh man, I expect it to be extremely explosive. I love the way Coach Petrino coaches. He tells you down to the detail on what you need to do here, what you need to do there. If you do it wrong, if you do it 100%. Speed, he's going to come over there, correct you. Now, if you mess up and you going 50 miles, 50% of your 100%, he's going to get on you. So as long as you do everything full speed, messed up or not, he's going to let you know what to do, no matter if it's wrong or right.
Who are some of the other weapons that you're excited to play with, whether they be some in the transfer portal, some running back, or some other receivers that maybe the Razorback fans don't know about that you expect to have a good year?
Man, Jaquindon Jackson, he is a Dallas native as well, and also Tyrone Broden, and they've been putting the work in. It's been great. I love the way everybody's been able to take coaching this year. The players, it's a very player-led team, just like Coach Pittman says, man. If the team, the best teams are the player-led teams. You can have great coaches and everything, but if you don't have leaders on the team, it won't do anything.
Andrew, I love how you attack the football and how you catch the ball with your hands. What is something this offseason that you feel what is something you identified from last year that you're like, man, I want to get better at this? If it's an outside release, if it's an inside release, if it's running a slant, what is something you feel like you got better this offseason?
A shocking thing, that a lot of people might not, say, oh, he I don't know about that, But me personally, I feel like this is what's going to separate me and make me a better player, not only a better player, but a leader. And the number one thing is to be a leader. That's the number one thing, not even focusing on the routes, not even focusing on the yards, my hands and things like that. Being a leader. And the second thing would be blocking. I feel like me blocking is going to open up a whole bunch of different revenues of the offense. With me blocking, it's going to help the running back. He's going to run on my back. Try to get open. As long as I move the DB out the way, You know, the running back gets open. Now you got defensive coordinators maybe thinking, okay, let's try to stop the run. Now everybody's on the outside manned up. You know, so I feel like everything is just going to work in favor.
So when I hear of those two things, when I hear of leadership, when I think of blocking for a wide receiver, I'm thinking one word. I'm thinking effort. Yeah, you can't be a leader if you don't put the effort into it, which probably means communicating with all your teammates.
Yes, sir.
And I mean, Matt Jones played wide receiver in the NFL. He knows that blocking is about effort. That's a pretty important word, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Want to in effort. That's the main thing. You can have all the skills in the world, you can have all the technique in the world, but if you don't have the effort, if you don't have the want to do it, it's not going to work.
It's you're exactly right, and your teammates love it. Your teammates will absolutely love you for it. Who's the best hooper? Did y'all go to the hoop court and play any basketball? Who's the best hooper on the team?
I would have to say, you know, Taylor Green probably going to say him again.
Mhm.
You know, but it's not. I would have to put myself in front of Taylor Green.
I like it.
In the hooping thing as well.
You guys really have a thing. Is there like a friendly rivalry here between the two of you?
It all started when he said he was from Dallas, but he's from Louisville.
There's a difference.
And thank you. It is a difference. Like, you are from Louisville, and your team is called the the Farmers? Like, you're not from Dallas, sir. I just want to let you know that, Mr. Taylor Green. You're not better than me in bowling. You're not better than me in NCAA, and you're not a better basketball player than me, sir.
Hey, there's one player that I'm really just fascinated with his addition to the team, and he's in your position group, Monty Harrison. You know, so this is somebody that, and I think of leadership because it's a guy that reached the pinnacle of Major League Baseball, and he's 28, but he's never played a down of college football. He looks like he's really athletic. He's a grown man. You know, how has he fit into the roster so far, and what's your relationship like with him?
Oh man, he's great. You know, that's my workout partner. It's me, him, and Tesla. Tesla, we all work out together. So, you know, he's come in, you know, I think he's what, 28, 20, something like that. You know, I'm going to be 24 in October, so it's not that far. You know, he's still, you know, it don't seem like he's that much older because, you know, we all still in our 20s at the end of the day. But, you know, he came in, you know, doing everything right, doing everything that he needs to do, and he's been great. He's been great.
Hey, Andrew, when does camp start, and what's kind of your plan from now to camp? Are you going to get away from it for 7-10 days, or are you going to keep on working out? When does camp start, and what's your plan until camp starts?
I want to say it starts the 31st, and I'm gonna keep working out. Ain't no reason for me to stop. Like, it's my last year. I'm not taking no breaks. I can't take no breaks right now. Like, all I'm thinking right now is football. Of course, you know my body needs a break, of course that, but like I'm going to let my body break, but I'm not going to take a break. Whether I'm looking at the playbook, whether I'm looking in the film room, like I can't take a break right now.
We're going to give you an opportunity to compliment your good friend and rival sitting right next to you there. What kind of a ball does Taylor Green throw?
A beautiful one. A beautiful one, like over the shoulders. You know, he fits it in the pocket, and it's a quick one. It's not a floater. You know, he zips it and he gets it there right on time.
Sounds like the kind of quarterback a wide receiver would want throwing to him.
Yes, sir.
I imagine that the next, before camp starts, it's just going to be a lot of EA college football between you and Taylor there. You put that out on social media a lot. Like, you're streaming some of your games out there. You're pretty open about that.
Oh, yeah. I'll be in there, you know. I'll be just having fun, you know, having fun. I feel like that's my kind of get away from, even though it's not really getting away because I'm still playing football on the game, but I feel like that's my, you know, my fun time. You know, I get to talk to some fans that join the chat. You know, if y'all want to tap in, you know, y'all get come join the stream sometime. When I be in there, I'll be just talking, having a good time, you know. So, yeah, I love the stream and just play the game sometimes.
That seems like what you're doing when you talk some of that smack with Taylor in there. You're just kind of having a good time. Is that the kind of teammate you are? He can't be the only teammate that you talk to like this.
Oh, yeah, Tyrone, bro, and we all have friendly rivals, but at the end of the day, it's just all fun. You know, we just talk like this. We gonna go in there and finna eat together and you know, have a regular conversation. You know, it's just having fun.
It's a lot more fun when you win football games, right?
Definitely.
You ready to win some football games this next season?
I'm ready to win a lot of football games next season.
I'm sure you are, but it must feel like a long time before that first game, doesn't it?
It actually, to be honest, usually it would. Now, the way how fast time been going lately. It's been going pretty fast. It'll be here before we know it.
I'm glad to hear you put it that way, because now I'll start to look at it the same way.
It's in the air.
It is. It definitely is. Now that we've talked with 3 Razorbacks who are going to be starters, it's starting to feel more like football season. Andrew, we'll let you go with that. I appreciate your time. Really enjoyed you, and we could have just let you and Taylor do the whole segment together. You didn't need us.
That's my guy, man. That's my guy. I love him.
Good luck, Andrew. Thanks, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Andrew Armstrong, Arkansas wide receiver, and he seems like he's a premier smack talker too.
Aficionado.
Yes, an aficionado, and I'm on his side too. Like, time constraints. There's no final score at halftime. It doesn't work that way.
One series. You got to play all 4 quarters. I like it, all 4 quarters. And I love his point. And coaches will tell you this. If you give effort and make a mistake, we can work with it. And that's what he's talking about, Bobby Petrino. And I love the fact that he's talking about Taylor Green getting the ball out quick and fast. That's, man, as a receiver, the longer the ball's in the air, the more they're going to come to you. The sooner it gets to you, you get the ball in space. And you're not just going to arm tackle Armstrong. You know, he's a big, strong, tough kid. 24 years old. I think he's going to have a big time year.
Our coverage from Radio Row at SEC Media Days is presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback, by WT Equipment, and by the Limbird Real Estate Group. Limbird Real Estate Group serves all of Northwest Arkansas, Missouri, and the River Valley. You can get a cash offer on your home in 72 hours. LimberdTeam.com for all your real estate needs. We can react now. You can get on the horn, calls and texts. 877-377-6963. Halftime. We'll be right back.
This is Halftime.
ESPN Arkansas is kicking off college football live from Radio Row in Dallas, Texas at SEC Media Days. Our shows provide insight on player and coach interviews, including special moments throughout the entire week. Make sure to tune in to the Morning Rush, Halftime, and Ruskin and Zach to get this unique coverage presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback, WT Equipment, and Limbird Real Estate Group. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
It started as a dream, and here you are. It's moving day. But wait, isn't moving supposed to be stressful? Oh, that's right. You bought your home using Weichert Realtors. Your Weichert agent guided you from start to finish to help make sure we found you your perfect place. Dream, move, home, Weichert. Call your local Weichert Realtors office today and make your move. And look for our bright yellow signs. At Weichert Realtors, we sell more because we do more. Each Weichert franchised office is independently owned and operated.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
This is Halftime.
ESPN 95.3 is live on location.
Christian Johnston here at the Hardee's location at 1820 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. I'll be out here until 1 p.m. today trying to get you guys to qualify for the football trip of a lifetime presented by Hardee's, ESPN Arkansas, and hitthatline.com. It's that time of the year. Once again, can you eat a Monster Burger in 150 seconds or less? I'll be out here again until 1 p.m. today. This is our first lunch qualifier. And again, this year's matchup, the Dallas Cowboys and Philadelphia Eagles, a bitter NFC East rivalry going on. If you want to go on that trip, you've got to qualify first. You got to eat a Monster Burger in 150 seconds or less. Come by and see us at 1820 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith.
Man, I wish I knew you were here. We hear that every day at In Stock Parts, located off Highway 45 across from the cold storage in Fort Smith. Are you a maintenance technician, landscaper, farmer, or a do-it-yourselfer in need of bearings, belts, or roller chain? Or safety supplies like gloves, safety glasses, or earplugs? Maybe you need drill bits, tap and die sets, lubricants, or even a gas-powered pump or generator. Don't waste your time driving around. Stop by In Stock Parts, your industrial parts resource, or check them out online at InStockParts.com. In Stock Parts.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Herod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 4th Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
And we're back with the action. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. With an irresistible taste and zero sugar, Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any sports fan. So make sure you... Wait, Jim, I didn't mean try it right now. We're still on the air.
Best Coke ever? Take a taste, Jen.
Really?
No, not right now, Jen. We got a game to call.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
When I look back, oh, it must have been a dream. In the country, listening to the stream, looking for an answer, trying to find a sign, until I saw your city light, honey, I was blind. They said, get back, walk a cat, better get back to the world. Quitting those days and my redneck ways, and
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Brandon in Paris texted in a question. He's not even sure that Talon and Andrew are teammates, the way that they were going back and forth at each other there. But I've seen teammates that are exactly like that. Can't agree on anything, argue about where they're from, argue about what they ate for breakfast and everything that leads to it. But once it comes down to game time and they're on the field at the same time, usually those people who are, kind of battling against each other in a friendly way like that, they are practically inseparable on the field and usually have a good sense of each other on the field too. It's good to see that with the two of them.
I think Hollywood makes a lot of bromance movies, and I think those two could be your Seth Rogen and Paul Rudd right there.
Do we have a new Lethal Weapon movie coming out sometime soon? Didn't I read about this?
I know you had the new Axel Foley movie coming out with that.
Good one. It was good.
Is Mel Gibson still a lethal? Do they still claim him? Is he going to be in it?
I imagine.
I know
so.
everything's
can't have a
everything's
Lethal Weapon.
changing.
You can't have a Lethal Weapon without Mel Gibson and Danny Glover, regardless of what might have happened.
You can't have an Atlantic Coast Conference unless you play games on the Pacific Ocean as well.
That's exactly right.
You got to go across.
Well, the only way you can do that is if you have a team in the middle of the country that's right there. Where SEC Media Days is taking place, by the way. Yeah.
SMU, huh?
That's right there.
Yeah, right there.
Right in the middle of the Atlantic Coast. That's right.
Man, the Fighting Rhett Lashleys, they won 10 games last year, and it's going to be a big jump for them. I watched their bowl game, and I know the bowl games are standalone games. Who knows how many people opted out and all that stuff, but it'd be a big jump for SMU.
Oh, it sure will. Yeah. Well, and we'll see if that league even stays together, the league that they thought they got themselves into. I don't think it's going to be the league that they're actually in a couple of years. But yeah, that's I guess the SMU campus isn't that far from where Media Days is taking place, which I think is right down the street from the Sixth Floor Museum in Dealey Plaza, which I imagine, with what happened last week or over the weekend, if some of the members of the SEC media took the opportunity to go to the Sixth Floor Museum and develop their own conspiracy theories about these sorts of things. I've been to that museum twice. It's worth your time. Definitely worth your time. It's well put together.
I went for my own bachelor trip. Pretty cool.
What's that?
Went for my own bachelor trip. Pretty cool. Nice museum.
Wait a minute. You went to the Sixth Floor Museum as part of your bachelor party?
Absolutely. It was either that or do other things in Dallas that aren't worth, getting. Yeah. Anyway.
Well, I mean, it's a huge city. There's dozens of things to do. Hey, I'm not criticizing you at all for this choice. You can do whatever you want on these sorts of trips. It's just I did not picture presidential assassinations as a major topic for bachelor parties. You and I are still getting to know each other, Colton.
We put together our own theories and we drew some conclusions. So, I encourage Tommy to take Ty, try and get him educated a little bit, but he obviously had other things planned as well.
He's got other sorts of things he needs to be educated on, and presidential assassinations is just one of them. Just one of them. 877-377-6963. It was a good. I enjoyed hearing from all three of these players, from Andrew Armstrong, from Landon Jackson, from Taylon Green. If you missed any of those conversations, then it'll be on the Eastside Liquor Halftime Podcast. We get most of these interviews also featured on hitthatline.com. And I guess it's just pretty much like the last time you get a chance to talk to these guys, and still until practice starts, and then they're just sort of meted out to the media one at a time. And it's also not conversations at that point, Matt. Like it's 20 different people, firing a question here and there at you. So, I mean, it feels like these conversations are sort of unique in the context of when we get a chance to talk to these guys.
You could hear the brim full of Asha in their voice. They all still had hope. It's 0-0 right now. It was 1-7 last year. We destroy the tape. We burn the tape. We're changing. There's the changing in the guard on the offensive side. He sounded hopeful. I love it. It gets you excited, and we're almost here, Phil. What are we? The 31st. I mean, we're less than 2 weeks away from them starting camp.
Better be careful. We'll be accused of sending people out to drink some Kool-Aid. Because those always start coming in. But what's the word you use there? Brimful of that. That's a song that that's
for 45
from Corner Shop.
Yeah, for 45 since he was on the controls today.
Well, and also the lyric is Brimful of Asha on a 45.
And yeah, right. Like he's Colton. He probably has some vinyl at his house.
But what is a brimful of Asha?
Hope. The cup full of hope.
All these years, I've known that song. I like Corner Shop. I did not know what Asha meant.
I didn't either. It's I still probably don't know what it means, but
I never heard that song. I was honored to be chosen for you to, honor me that way. It was very, very nice. I like that one. That's a good one. Corner Shop, I'll have to look into them.
Goes along with the nickname, 45.
They're a one-hit wonder band. I'm trying to think of the other band that was, Save Tonight, like Eagle Eye Cherry. Same, Save, You Fight the Break of Dawn.
That one, yeah.
Those are kind of that, Michael Spearhead Michael Frusciante and the Spearhead Gang. Like they have one little catchy tune, but you don't have to worry about delving into them.
No, we don't need.
There's so much other better music. Yeah, there's better music out there.
I know we're talking so much SEC football and Arkansas football now, but I had to get this in. We've had him on the show before. Little Rock Trojans women's basketball coach Joe Foley announced his retirement today. Foe's been around forever. National championships, 2 of them at Arkansas Tech. Took over UALR women's program. I think his first year would have been 2003, and literally built them from the ground up. I think they won 4 games the year before he took over. And, he's gotten them to the tournament about a handful of times. March Madness, they've won Sun Belt championships. They've won Ohio Valley championships. And he's a mentor for many coaches that are running programs right now. And I know we got a lot of listeners in the River Valley who I know have some memories of seeing teams that Foley coached. He is without question, and I don't say this in a hyperbolic way, I think he's one of the best basketball coaches in the country. Nobody devours film the way that Joe Foley devours film. It is a masterclass, and a guy that's coached with no ego whatsoever. Also not a guy that stomps his feet on the sideline or anything like that. He's always said that he does his coaching in practice leading up to games. And I believe he was, and I don't have all the notes in front of me, but I believe he is or was the second most winning active coach at the time of his retirement. So he's I don't think he's just an Arkansas legend. I think he's one of the most he is one of the most respected coaches in women's basketball across the country. 37 seasons and nearly 900 career wins. And Foley calls it the end of his career. And the new coach for UALR is Steve Wiedauer, who's been a longtime assistant for him. And if some of you remember, Wiedauer played at Arkansas State and nearly I shouldn't say single-handedly, but nearly was the main reason that Arkansas State came close to beating the Razorbacks in the NIT, which I think was 1988, 87 or 88 when that happened. So does have a little bit of a connection to the team that we usually cover most. And I worked for Foley I did 8 seasons of women's basketball at UALR and got to know him really well and his family, Chris, his wife, Miranda, his daughter, Chris, his son. They are a great family, and I know they're excited to have Joe kind of getting off the road now. Do you imagine what that would be like too? Because Matt, he's been a coach that's ridden the bus most of his career, right? So it's not like he's gotten all the the charter flights. There've been a few of them here and there, but it's mostly been bus trips and heavy recruiting and the transfer portal that he's had to maneuver through these last few years. It takes me, like I have just, maybe over the last week, finally gotten to the place where the college baseball season's been over for 6 weeks for us? 5 or 6 weeks at Arkansas? I have finally now been able to be okay with slowing down and not have a million things to worry about. For a guy like Joe, nearly 40 years on the road and coaching and everything, it's going to take more than 5 weeks to slow down.
Reminds me of Campy from Oakland. Is Joe Foley in the Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame? Because he should. Okay, there we go. Yeah, man, he's a legend. He's a legend when it comes to coaching basketball. Absolutely.
Only person with more career victories than him and wins women's college basketball is Gino Auriemma.
Auriemma.
That's a pretty short list to be on. He's passed Pat Summitt too, so he's definitely up there.
As far as the active, I think maybe does that Stanford coach that retired, is he ahead of
Tara Vanderveer?
Is he ahead of her?
I think she was ahead of everybody. She might have been ahead of Auriemma too. I think she had a couple of years on him.
Okay.
So, but she retired. Bluter with Iowa. I don't know if she was in front of or had more career wins than Joe, but she had also retired. So now that leaves Gino Auriemma and Joe Foley riding off into the sunset. Now with a cowboy hat, though. You know what I saw? That all the players that go to SEC Media Days, Matt, get a cowboy hat there. It wasn't that they showed up with the cowboy hat. It's because it's Dallas. It's because it's Texas, and they just get one, and they get to pick from like a wall of hats. Usually they're picking from a wall of hats, but it's, team hats, not cowboy hats. Looks a little bit weird on some of their heads.
I think Armstrong kind of had a James Bond thing going on. Maybe we could get maybe the new Bond movie needs a 6-gallon hat. He needs to, I don't know, is Daniel Craig he's done Bond, right? He's like Joe Foley.
He's done, that's
right. He's off into the sunset. Yeah.
He's on to the next thing. He's on to the next thing. And who knows what it's going to be? I don't know who the next Bond is. I thought maybe it was going to be Idris Elba.
Bring back Pierce.
Oh, Pierce Bronson.
Bring it back as like an old Silver Fox kind of Bond. I bet he could do it. They're rehashing everything.
They brought Connery back after Roger Moore had done a couple of movies, so there's a precedent there. I don't know though. Maybe they'll get Pierce Brosnan into another movie with ABBA music in it, like the first one around. Yeah, I saw he was described in that movie as his singing voice sounded like a water buffalo that was being killed. I don't think anybody wants to be described like that. 877-377-6963 to get with us on Halftime. Brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback next to Baum. It's almost football season, so make sure you're loading up on your Razorback gear right now at the Stadium Shop. They've got it all. Tailgating, game day, man cave decorations, dorm room stuff. anything for your car. It doesn't get any more Razorback than the Stadium Shop. They're local, family, alumni-owned and operated. Robert, Elizabeth, and Matt at 479 Stadium. Easy to remember, 479 Stadium. Or better yet, stop by the Stadium Shop on Razorback. Make sure you tell them ESPN Arkansas sent you, and online at shoponrazorback.com. Back to wrap up hour number 2 right after this.
Joe, don't be so cool, dude.
This is halftime.
ESPN 95.3 is live on location.
Big C coming to you live from Hardee's at 1820 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. The football trip of a lifetime between the Cowboys and Eagles, November 10th. You have a chance to qualify for the contest on August 24th. You got to eat a Monster Burger in 150 seconds or less. I'll be out here until 1 p.m. today. We just had a couple guys come in here, both named Dylan, ironically, and they both successfully completed the challenge. It came down to the wire. You want to do the same, come by here right now. You know, have an appetite because it is a challenge, but you can do it here right now at Hardee's, 1820 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith, brought to you by ESPN Arkansas. Hit that line, and Hardee's, the football trip of a lifetime.
Do you need help with your next project? Metters Lumber True Value is here to help. A family-owned business since 1936, the staff has more than 90 years of experience in construction and the hardware business. If they don't have what you need, they know how to get it, and they are more than happy to accommodate your special order. So whether it's building a new deck, a paint project around the house, or needing a new set of tools, Metters Lumber True Value has everything you need. With locations in Alma, Ozark, and Clarksville, and you can shop online at metterslumber.com. Metters Lumber True Value.
Presented by Sharp Equipment. Get hooked on Sharp Equipment this year. Sharp Equipment has hooked up with Eastern Oklahoma Guide Service for a free guided fishing trip with the purchase of any Wacker Newson equipment. Along with getting a superior piece of equipment, you will get hooked up with a free guided fishing trip for the chance at a catch of a lifetime. Visit them at Sharp Equipment, 6104 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith, or call them at 479-242-1406.
What's new at Wheeler Power Sports? Short answer, a lot. All new Kawasaki Ninja 500, Z500, Eliminators, and Mule Pro Diesels. New Kawasaki Ridge Side-by-Side is now arriving. New Polaris Expeditions and Ranger XD 1500s. New Suzuki GSX 8R. New 2024 model Polaris Slingshots, including the Roush Edition, are now in stock. Check us out online at WheelerPowersports.com or stop by and see us at downtown Fort Smith at 901 North 11th Street. Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Missing or broken teeth? Sharp Smiles wants you to start chewing again with dental implants. Scared of the dentist? Sharp Smiles will help you overcome your fear. Big dental problems? Sharp Smiles Modern Dentistry and Implants is your answer to your dental needs and services, where your smile is top priority. Get the smile you have always wanted from the friendly faces at Sharp Smiles, 2600 Market Trace, Suite B, off Jenny Lind across from Harps. For more information, visit the website at sharpsmilesdds.com or call 648-9988.
I know we're always on the go, heading to Fayetteville, Little Rock, Oklahoma City, and you need a place to fill up. But not just for gas. I need snacks, drinks, and a restroom that doesn't make me throw up. That's why my new favorite pit stop is Jam Mart number 10, located at 6201 Grand Avenue on the way out of town. I can't stop by without getting something from their hot box or a fresh made burger. That's Jam Mart number 10, located at 6201 Grand Avenue in Fort Smith.
The people have voted, and Evans Body Shop has been recognized. Voted best in the River Valley this year and 5 years running best of the best independent body shop. We are so grateful for the support of our community. EBS has hundreds of 5-star reviews and countless satisfied customers. We invite you to experience a customer service level that sets our shop apart from the others. Call or come by today to see why we say
Evans Body Shop, where we meet the nicest people by accident.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
I light a candle to our love. In love our problems disappear. But all in all, we soon discover that one and one is all we long to hear. All children being born to the world. Got to give them all we can till the war is won. Then will the work be done? Help them to learn some joy instead of burn, maybe burn. And show them how to play the pipes of peace.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
45 has been in the producer's chair because Seabrook, C Burger, is at the Hardee's location on Phoenix Avenue. You got about 6 minutes or so to get over there and smash your Hardee's thick burger, your monster burger, in 150 seconds. And then you are qualified for the finals for the 19th annual football trip of a lifetime. And the winner will see tickets and all the other things you need for the trip to Arlington to see the Cowboys and the Eagles. And make sure you're tuned in to all of our shows on ESPN Arkansas, also on hitthatline.com to find out when the next qualifying round will take place. This weekend, he'll be watching Fight Club, right? Or I think he's actually going to watch Fight Club tonight. Isn't that what C-Movie told us yesterday, Matt? I watched it last night. I couldn't even wait another day. Threw it on and was just as entertained as the last time I saw it, which was probably like 15, 16 years ago.
We got to get the clip where he's giving everybody a homework assignment. I want all you guys to go out there and start a fight with somebody else. You know, it's harder than you think. Most people will do anything to stay out of a fight.
I just love how the movie opens. You know, I had forgotten, the whole reason that the movie has been assigned to C-Movie is because of the national anthem it's like the domino effect of coaches being fired. They all lead to one thing that happens on the show. The national anthem at the Home Run Derby being so bad that I had to air what I think is the best national anthem I've seen in person, which was performed by Meatloaf at the Major League All-Star Game in 1994, which led to C-Movie. Have you ever seen Meatloaf in a movie? Have you seen Fight Club? The answer is no, and then it's assigned, just like that. It's how these things all work on halftime. The other thing I was going to assign him was Rocky Horror Picture Show, and then I think he'd be scarred.
I guess I've never seen that one, so there's a couple of them I need to see.
I don't know if you want to watch that one. It's an entertaining movie. There's a few dance routines that we could practice at some point together. We could do the time warp if you ever felt the need. I don't know if you've ever felt the need. What's that, 45?
Damn it, Janet.
That's right. And there's a very specific scene with Meatloaf getting murdered in the movie, but it's a kind of a comedic murder. You know, that's the sort of movie we're talking about here, Rocky Horror Picture Show. We're into hour number 3 in just a moment. We'll be talking with Brett Dolan, who is back with Touchdown Radio for another season. Of course, Brett calling various Razorback events on campus and a lot of other stuff. But after the break, we'll check the ESPN headlines, calls and texts as well on halftime. And we are right back after this.
This summer at Hardee's, the BLT gets an upgrade with the new Frisco BLT Angus Burger and Frisco BLT hand-breaded chicken sandwich. The classic flavors of bacon, lettuce, and tomato, atop a famous charbroiled burger or signature hand-breaded chicken sandwich, all between 2 thick slices of toasted sourdough. Only for a limited time at Hardee's. Goodness in the making. Order ahead on the Hardee's app. Participation may vary. Exclusions apply by time of day.
Drive a compact SUV that has more style, power, and technology with the 2023 Buick Envision at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Right now, get up to $3,500 in discounts and financing as low as 0.9% for 36 months with approved credit. Plus, get state sales tax paid on all remaining 2023 models in stock. The Buick Envision. It's all about you and designed to inspire. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Waiting on someone to bale your hay? Come in to Gray Brothers Equipment and let us show you how affordable owning your own Kubota hay equipment can be. Bale your hay when it's ready, not when it's burned up. With economical pricing at Gray Brothers and affordable interest rates from Kubota, this year is the year to bale your own hay. That's Gray Brothers Equipment in Fort Smith and Poto, where if you pick orange, you'll never get a lemon.
Whether you are fishing a jetty on the Arkansas River or working around laydowns at Beaver, Washita, or Table Rock, the Heddon Super Spook Jr. is the topwater bait to call up summer bass. The Super Spook Jr. is a smaller version of the world's most famous topwater lure. The Spook is the original walk the dog lure and has been tricking big bass for almost 100 years. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle shops everywhere. The Heddon Super Spook Jr.
Let me grab my car keys and we'll roll.
We still going to that new bar downtown?
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. Lexi, give me driving directions from home to downtown bar district.
Autocorrect. Suggest Uber. Pick up, home. Drop off downtown bar district.
No, I'm driving.
Suggest the Metro bus. Departing in 12 minutes.
Point taken, Lexi. We'll grab a ride.
If you drink, don't drive. Decide to ride. Brought to you in partnership by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and Uber.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we will see periods of sunshine across the north, some showers and thunderstorms across the south, highs today in the lower 80s. Everybody dries out tonight, low to mid 60s, and then sunshine Friday, a high into the lower 80s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Come Get You Some, Arkansas's premier off-road superstore. Call 782-MUD today. KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 42 days. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect it.
If I'm all right.
Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're gonna go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Well,
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Bill Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moth at halftime.
That's even one Razorback. It's vintage Matt Jones. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Right now, let's take the field.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
Welcome back into our final hour of halftime today on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. It's been an action-packed couple of hours. Played a lot of sound from Sam Pittman. We had conversations with Razorback quarterback Taylen Green, wide receiver Andrew Armstrong, defensive end Landon Jackson. Those will all be on the Eastside Liquor Halftime podcast that comes out once the show is concluded. Brett Dolan will come up in about 15 minutes. He's got some fun games that Touchdown Radio's got on the schedule this year. Just think of some of these ones that Brett will be on the call for. Clemson versus Georgia, week 1 in Atlanta. That's got to be two brand names.
What's your percent chance? Because you have to give Clemson some type of chance, right? Like, this is a game that you think Georgia's just going to win 100%, or do
you never know? Like that first game of the year, right?
Couple turnovers, not attention to detail, have a freshman mistake. I mean, there's things. Yeah. I'm gonna go
75% Georgia with that one. Plus, it's in Atlanta. Yeah, they're always going to be playing their games in Atlanta when they get a chance to. Colorado, Nebraska, week 2. Rivalry. Didn't Colorado beat Nebraska last year?
On their way to a 4-8 season, yeah. But they did get. Everybody's been beating Nebraska. That's I think we were trying to get Nebraska on our schedule.
Georgia at Kentucky, week 3. She's got a couple of Georgia games really early in the season. And then UCLA and LSU in week 4. I guess they'll figure out the rest of the schedule after that. So those are, I would say that's 3 marquee games right there. I don't know if I'd put Colorado and Nebraska in that category, but a lot of people are going to watch it, that's for sure. You think Colorado will still get all the eyes that they got last year?
Until they lose a game, yes. As long as they're winning, everybody wants to. The Coach Prime, the way he likes the spotlight, he knows how to work the media. You think about it, he's been in the spotlight since the 80s, like really, like just a star. I mean, he was an absolute star. Played both sports in Tallahassee there at Florida State, and he just kept his star has always been going. So I think until Colorado loses a game, that's America's team. I really do. Not in a way that I'm saying that we're fans or whatever, but it's like just in general, it gets the Caitlin Clark fan. It gets the guy that doesn't really pay attention as much, but if they're doing it, you're going to actually look at it and it'll be good. I mean, didn't Fox Sports Game Day go there 3 straight weeks in a row because of that? Yeah,
that absolutely did. Yeah, and yet they're switching leagues, so I don't know how often they'll actually be on Fox. Yeah. That Nebraska game very well could be their first loss. It's in Lincoln, week 2, so I'd go in that direction. You did mention Caitlin Clark. How about a record setter yesterday? 19 assists for the Indiana Fever in a loss against the Dallas Wings. I didn't look and see if they moved that game into the American Airlines Arena. I don't know where the Wings play their home games, but so many of those games that the Fever play, or even on the road, are being moved into the main NBA arenas. But this is a WNBA record from Caitlin Clark. It's not a rookie record. You know, this league's been around for over 20 years, and Clark with 19 assists, most ever. I believe she leads the WNBA in assists as well. And she doesn't play for a really good team, but I mean, a league record is a league record. That is impressive.
Don't be surprised who goes to Indiana to play with her. You know, like I'm not as fluent in WNBA. You know, I don't know this personnel, but I know good players, great players, people that want to win. You want to play with the best. If you're a young lady or an older lady that's at the end of her career, man, how do you not want to go play with somebody who can get you the ball?
It looks like they were still in the smaller building. They were, College Park Center is where that game was played. That's where Texas Arlington plays their home games. Been inside that building. It's actually a nice building, but it's less than half the size of American Airlines Arena. So I'm sure those tickets probably went for quite.
And I think it's 2 last place teams right there too. I think both.
That's the crazy thing about it is that they probably had some crazy ticket prices for 2 last place teams, but. They're, in that case, people are going to see the player. They're not going to see the team specifically. Got a new SEC Network college football analyst, Matt. Randall Cobb.
Kentucky kid.
That's right. He is joining the SEC Network after, and I thought I'd seen earlier today a headline on ESPN that said that he was retiring, but he actually hasn't officially retired. He's just left the Packers. At the age of 33, 13 NFL seasons, 10 with the Packers. Think about that. We had Andrew Armstrong on earlier today. I didn't realize Armstrong is 24 years old, and Cobb started his career 4 years younger in the NFL than Armstrong is in his last year in college. But the story now says the initial announcement of Cobb joining the SEC Network said that the Green Bay Packers wide receiver had retired, but then it was later clarified he has not officially ended his playing career. So I don't know how you pull that off necessarily, because I know that they're thinking of like women's basketball, right? I mean, they're analysts that work women's college basketball during the college season that are NBA players or WNBA players. So I guess he's at least kicking around the idea that he might play another year or so, but not retired, but he's going to be an SEC analyst, or an SEC Network analyst. Cobb was great, though, too.
He was fun. He was a slot guy that could do kind of like an Antoine Randall. He could do a lot of different things, and he was always a guy that could block downfield. He was a real football player.
Otis texted in. I guess Otis is an EA college football player, so you can see who everybody is playing when you go online. He says everybody plays as Colorado. They are America, but they must be America's team then. If everybody's choosing to be Colorado on EA Sports on the college football game, I mean, if you play as them, I guess that means you'll probably watch them when the chance comes.
Hey, as long as they're hot, I haven't looked at their schedule yet. I don't know where their first loss would be. Yeah, I mean that you're right. It could be at Nebraska. I'm not into Nebraska though. Nebraska hasn't been good in a while. I don't know. All of a sudden they're going to be this team, but that's going to win 8-9 games. But has Colorado had 41 guys leave, 39 guys come in? You know, it's a totally different team, totally different league. But I think Colorado, let me look at their schedule, but I would think that I don't see any reason why Colorado doesn't start off kind of like they did last year, winning their first 3 or 4 games.
Well, let's look at some of the other games they have. Once they get into the Big 12, potentially things change a little bit here. Let me just click on my schedule. So after they get Nebraska, it's Colorado State. That's a rivalry game. Didn't those teams kind of get into it last year?
The other coach wouldn't look him in the eye. He said, "Why is he wearing his glasses like a prima donna?" or whatever he's saying. Yeah.
Baylor is their first Big 12 game.
See, that's a game Colorado could win, though. Like yes. I mean, I could see them starting off 5-0. Oh man, at Orlando with your boy KJ, that'd be
UCF,
yeah,
and your boy Gus. That could be a loss.
You're right. I mean, they could be 5-0, or they could be 2-3 after that with those 5 games.
KJ Jefferson throwing passes against Travis Hunter. Be interesting. Kansas State, Arizona, Cincinnati, Texas Tech, Utah, Kansas, and Oklahoma
That's
State.
kind of a light schedule, huh?
Finishes with Oklahoma State.
That's a light schedule. I mean, I could see. I'll say this: Colorado makes a bowl game this year.
Wow, that's a bold prediction. But moving out of moving out of what was a really tough Pac-12 last year into the Big 12, and we don't really know what identity the Big 12 has right now. I think you could be right about that. You very well could.
Kansas
be right
State lost their OC to Texas A&M, so they're kind of doing some new things there. It'll be a different Kansas State team. I know you're saying that at September 7th at Lincoln, Nebraska, but that September 28th game, Phil, in Orlando for UCF, that one kind of gets my alert, because you have to see how UCF's going to be, but you got to think that Gus Malzahn, with a veteran quarterback, they're going to put out a decent squad.
So Brett's got Kentucky and Georgia, which is the third week of the season. The game will be played in Lexington. Kentucky does not leave Lexington until week 5. Mark Stoops is the last to speak today. Southern Miss, South Carolina, Georgia, and Ohio, all at home over the first month of the season. I expect they're going to be 3-1 because I don't see Kentucky beating Georgia, but I think they'll start off 2-0 going into the third week against Georgia. Let's see some of the other SEC games that week. Florida A&M, LSU, South Carolina, Mizzou, Boston College. That's the game of the week in the SEC. That week, Georgia and Kentucky. Yeah, that'll be the game of the week. So that's something we'll hit on with Brett Dolan in just a moment. Also, remember, Wood Power Sports, when you're looking for your next side-by-side motorcycle, ATV, or zero-turn mower, Wood Power Sports has 3 convenient locations all in our listening area: Harrison, Springdale, and Fayetteville, and over 9 brands to choose from. If you think of it, they probably have it. Can-Am, Polaris, Kawasaki, Yamaha, CF Moto, Suzuki, KTM, Hustler, and Honda. Those 3 convenient locations also provide you with outstanding service and parts capabilities, and they even offer deliveries. Go online to woodpowersports.com to learn more. Brett Dolan stops by halftime right after this.
This is Halftime.
The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
Back in Dave Van Horn's playing days, what walk-up song would you walk out to going to the batter's box?
Do I have to use music from the 70s and early 80s?
Anything you want. The floor is yours.
back then it was probably REO Speedwagon, wasn't it?
That'd be a good one. Don't miss the Morning Rush. Weekdays from 6 till 9. Only on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family, from general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Davis, and Farmer give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confident, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Now offering same-day crowns. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
COP CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050, COP CDL Academy.
This moment of relief brought to you by your local State Farm agent, who also brings relief with all your auto insurance needs.
Call Heath Roberts at 479-452-4088 for a free quote today.
Walk-Ons is always a win, whether it's for a post-game celebration, drinks with the crew, or an easy weeknight dinner. Walk-Ons has you covered. Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers and cocktails. Dig into their mouth-watering menu items like po' boys, gumbo, and voodoo shrimp, plus fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads. Find your nearest location in Rogers, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Conway, and Little Rock, or order online or in the app. Walk-On Sports Bistro for the win.
Do you need help with your next project? Metters Lumber True Value is here to help. A family-owned business since 1936, the staff has more than 90 years of experience in construction and the hardware business. If they don't have what you need, they know how to get it, and they are more than happy to accommodate your special order. So whether it's building a new deck, a paint project around the house, or needing a new set of tools, Metters Lumber True Value has everything you need. With locations in Alma, Ozark, and Clarksville, and you can shop online at metterslumber.com. Metters Lumber True Value.
Do you need gutters but think they're too expensive, or that you need to get the soffit or fascia ready? No worries. Call the Gutter Guy. He does it all. No need to call multiple companies to get the right gutters for your home. Call the Gutter Guy. Quality, low maintenance, leak-free gutters with a 5-year warranty. The Gutter Guy also does vinyl siding and windows. The Gutter Guy. Over 30 years experience. Call 226-1259. Call the Gutter Guy.
Hi, this is Melissa with True Grit Running Company. Is someone special to you missing out on life because of foot pain? Let's face it, if your feet hurt, you don't want to go anywhere. Give the gift of freedom. Check out our store for all kinds of options to benefit your special someone. We have perfect gifts for those suffering from a variety of foot issues, such as plantar fasciitis, bunions, tendonitis, diabetes care, neuropathy, or just tired and achy feet. Visit us today at True Grit Running Company, 6808 Rogers Avenue, Suite B, behind Chick-fil-A.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Take me back down. Let me remember things I done. Stopping at slow taxi back. I can hear the bullfrog in my road.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Headed right to our hotline. Brett Dolan with us here from Arkansas Razorback Athletics. from Perfect Game, from Touchdown Radio, and, of course, everybody knows him from Thursdays on Halftime. Brett, what's going on, man? How are you?
Hey, guys. Good to be with you as always this week.
Yeah, we had a couple of the teammates join us earlier on the show, Taylon Green and Andrew Armstrong. They sounded like they're more competitive with each other than they are with anybody else. They were arguing about who can bowl better, who can play basketball better, who's better at EA College Football 25. I trust when two teammates are that competitive with each other, because I think seems to me they'll probably have a good sense of each other on the field too.
No, I like that, right? You like a little fire, a little spirit, a little excitement heading into training camp, and then a new season, a new coordinator, and there's always optimism, and obviously that can go sideways at some point, but there's no reason not to be a little bit optimistic about a new year with the hope that maybe it'll be a little bit different this year.
I believe in the depth I think that they've started to build at Arkansas in certain positions. Wide receiver, I think that's a position of depth this year. I think defensive line is a position of depth. I think the secondary will be too. Where do you think is a position that you wonder about the depth right now?
Well, I think the defense as a whole, I think you're right. I think there is greater depth for this team. And when you're going to compete in the SEC, you have to have it, whether it's just an accumulation of talent. You know, there's going to be injuries. You need not just good players, you need multiple good players at certain position groups. I would hope, though, the defense would be improved. The way last year finished was probably the reason why not everybody's optimistic about this year. I think offensively with Bobby Petrino, there's some intrigue and excitement, but there just needs to be more defense. It needs to be better players, better results, and more players.
Yeah, Brett, we 1-7 last year. That's not going to get it done, and that one win came without you. That's after you fired your offensive coordinator. I like to use this baseball term I got from Phil Elson. Your WAR, your wins above replacements, who's coming in, and that's Bobby Petrino. I tend to believe that's he's worth 2 wins right there. I just don't see another 1-7 season. And I could be wrong, but I think getting him, I think our offense will have an identity. We'll know. Last year we couldn't run the ball. We didn't know who we were. I just see Petrino being that guy he's worth at least 2 conference wins.
No, it's interesting you say that, Matt, and that would be a question I would ask you, and I'd be interested to hear your answer. Just how much value do you put on Bobby Petrino from an offensive standpoint? And I won't disagree with you at all in that regard. I think the other area is losing Barry Odom last year also took away a former head coach that Sam had as somebody that he could bounce things off of. I think as someone who doesn't have still a lot of head coaching experience, to have somebody like Barry in the past or even Bobby now provides a sounding board that might just permeate. And, I think the one thing that this defense then has to improve upon is the fact that they get to go up against this offense in training camp and practice to try and get better too. It's just not amount of how much can you get better over the course of an off-season or training camp, but how can you continue to get better by going head-to-head in whatever that looks like in training camp or as you work into SEC play, because one win, you're right, that's not going to cut it in SEC play.
I think of some decisions that you mentioned that a head coach has to worry about. And some of this is, I'm just going to bounce something off of a former head coach, but what about actual hard decisions made in a game? I'm thinking of, just remember the Mississippi State game last year, slow to get Cam Little out to kick the field goal, turned into it was too late. You get pushed back because of delay of game. A couple other decisions that game may have cost Arkansas what was a 7-3 loss. When it comes down to who's going, are we going for it on 4th down, or are we kicking a field goal, or are we punting it away? Those decisions. Those are the ones that I do wonder about. I know the head coach has the final say in this case, but who's really going to be making the decision in that case?
Well, we know the margins are so small in this league that if you do have a hiccup somewhere along the line, or there is a mistake, or something doesn't get done correctly, it impacts games. And when you're a team that's trying to get to 6 wins or beyond, every time you lose a game that you should win feels catastrophic. And every time you can steal a win against a team that maybe the experts think you should lose just helps you build. And, it is kind of that ability to get to 5 or 6 wins, or to be able to take care of business in those non-conference games to give them a chance then to go into the conference play. And whether it's steal a win from somebody or hold serve against the Mississippi State, whatever it is, just start accumulating, because there will be stretches, we both know this, when you get into SEC play where there might be 2 or 3 weeks on that schedule, and you're looking at it and thinking, if we don't play well, how can we get a win in these 3 games? Because these are all quality teams.
Phil was going over your schedule coming up, and I was kind of intrigued and kind of wanted to get your thoughts on Dabo Swinney, if he's on the hot seat at all, and do you give them a chance? I give Clemson a chance. I think they have athletes. I know Georgia doesn't lose a lot, but that first one, Clemson, Georgia, how do you see that one going? And what are your thoughts? You think Dabo Swinney is the guy that he'll be the head coach next year at Clemson as well?
It's a great talking point, Matt, and it's one I don't know how to answer, because obviously he's put a lot of equity in the bank with what he's done. But we're in a new era, and he seems to be sticking to his guns as far as developing players and making culture paramount to his program. And I don't know if I can pick nits with that. I think there is an area for somebody to be able to do that, but I think you still have to be able to complement out of the portal right now, because otherwise you're going to be trying to compete 19, 20-year-olds with 22 and 23-year-olds. It might be a fascinating case study. I think there's some stubbornness involved right now with Dabo. Even if they play well and lose against Georgia, it's still a loss. But I do think maybe in the next 2 or 3 years, we're going to look back. If Dabo can't navigate this new era, he may not be the head coach at Clemson then. And if he does, maybe there's some hope for teams that still want to build with talented young players and not just jump in the portal and go shopping twice a year, every year.
But so much of it is how do you use the portal? And Arkansas's got more players coming in from the portal than they do in the high school recruiting class. I mean, you're in a place where you just need immediate help right now in a lot of areas. Brian Kelly is talking about using the portal in a different way. That it's more about high school recruiting and trying to maybe top off the team in the transfer portal. Or like Colorado, in which you just turn the whole thing over on an annual basis, apparently, or at least the first 2 years under Deion Sanders. The thing is that they use the portal. It is a tool, and it's a way that teams are built. It would be like a Major League Baseball team or an NFL team or a professional sports franchise just saying, hey, that whole free agency thing, yeah, we're not going to do that. It's against our beliefs, in which case those people find themselves out of a job pretty soon.
Well, you're right. You have to find the balance. And the kicker is, I don't know if anybody truly understands what that balance is yet between young players and developing them and culture. I think we saw it last year with the men's basketball team, not having some young players that were sophomores that have been in the program but would still be part of the future. They missed out on that. And Arkansas' soccer team, I think, is a fascinating example, because I don't think there's a program on campus that talks more about culture. You have to be a killer. You have to be an assassin to be successful in that program. So they recruit players who have that mentality, and they coach them up. And for the most part, they don't jump in the portal very much, but they go out and they get a key player here or a key player there. And it's one of the few programs on campus that can continue to recruit and develop and not just flip that roster over on a regular basis. And I'm curious to see how that plays out over a few years, because they have stuck to their guns. Culture's important. We're recruiting this type of personality. We're going to develop you. But in football and basketball, it's chaos. And I can't say I enjoy it. I almost feel like it's too much. It's too chaotic. You're in that portal too many times and whatnot. But there will be teams that can go from 3 wins to 8 wins in a hurry, or maybe in a couple of years, and everybody's going to say, hey, that's the ticket. That's how we get better quickly. It's not bringing in an 18-year-old and waiting 3 years for them to be successful. Let's do it now. And I still think there's a little balance between the two, but if there's teams that have figured it out, they are in the minority right now.
So you sent me more of your schedule during that last commercial break, Brett. I mean, you get some really, really great games here, including a stretch in which you're focused on new conference matchups, which I think should be a lot of fun. You got Oklahoma at Auburn in Week 5. You got Penn State at Southern California on October the 12th. That's going to be, I think, fascinating. Miami at Cal. That would be one of those matchups, though, that I'm thinking nobody ever asked for those two programs to meet. I don't know what kind of a game it's going to be, but it is interesting to see that one on your schedule.
Now, my partner, of course, is from the Bay Area, and he's a Miami legend, so I think that might be for him. But, the funny part was we had a 50-49 game there last year at Cal with USC, and it was the most entertaining game we had in an entertaining year. So I won't turn that one down. But I think your thought was what I also had pop into my mind. I'm still having a hard time with some of this conference realignment, and I don't know how it's going to play out. But I do think the first time, for example, Penn State goes to USC, and that's a Big Ten game, will be fun, or Oklahoma at Auburn, and even we have a Florida-Texas game later on. So I think maybe the first time that some of these schools have gone head-to-head as members of the SEC or Big Ten, whatever the case may be, I think it's going to be wildly intriguing. So I think we have kind of a theme on some of our games this year, and we're going to see some of these first-time conference matchups.
Yeah, looking forward to them, and then you get one in Razorback Stadium, which I think you've only got. I think Touchdown Radio has only had one other game at Razorback Stadium since you've been there, and I was your statistician. Remember, that was Georgia at Arkansas. Wasn't that Sam Pittman's first game as head coach?
It was. Stetson Bennett was playing just a little bit, but they couldn't figure out how to play him at Georgia, and it was a COVID game. So it was different. We had a game with Tua in Alabama a few years before that. So I've had two, but it'll keep me from getting on an airplane for a weekend with LSU coming to town. And if Arkansas can serve in the non-conference ranks and maybe grab an early win in league play, that could be a fun matchup too.
You find a way to replace those miles that you won't get, your airline miles, which I know are very important.
I'm going to have to just fly somewhere on that Tuesday just to get some miles, just for the heck of it.
Oh, I love it. Brett, thanks for coming on, man. Always appreciate you. Hey, next week when you visit with us again, I'm going to be live at the National Baseball Hall of Fame.
Come on.
Yep.
Is that right?
That's right. Yeah.
Did you know Mike Haywood's going there this week to see Todd Helton?
Yes, I know it. I'm excited for him to be there. We missed out on I would have liked to be there to see Jim Leland get inducted because he's the most influential manager of my childhood. But yeah, we're missing it by 1 week.
Well, I'm envious. Enjoy that trip. It's one of the special places in all of sports.
Brett, appreciate you, man. Thank you.
You got it.
Thanks, Brett.
It's Brett Dolan. He joins us each Thursday on Halftime. Hey, summertime in Arkansas means pond and creek fishing. Nothing's going to catch bass and bluegill in a pond like a Rebel Crick Hopper. You twitch it, pop it, walk it, swim it. It's the ultralight fishing lure that looks and acts like a real grasshopper. The Crick Hopper also works great in tandem with light spinning rods and reels with 4 or 6 pound fishing line. You'll find the Rebel Crick Hopper at lurenet.com and tackle shops everywhere. We're in the home stretch of halftime. Call us or text us 877-377-6963. We'll be right back.
This is Halftime.
ESPN Arkansas is kicking off college football live from Radio Row in Dallas, Texas at SEC Media Days. Our shows provide insight on player and coach interviews, including special moments throughout the entire week. Make sure to tune in to the Morning Rush, Halftime, and Ruskin and Zach to get this unique coverage. Presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback, WT Equipment, and Limbird Real Estate Group. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
Hog fans, this is Matt.
This is Robert.
And this is Elizabeth, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
The only local, family, and alumni-owned Razorback store.
Yep, our names are on Senior Walk, and we understand what that charging Razorback means.
From new students to season ticket holders, we have everything you need.
From floor coverings, wall art, game room items, and other stuff to decorate your home or dorm room.
To things for your pet or all sorts of clothing, we have it all.
We feature brands like Champion, Cutter & Buck, Tommy Bahama, Columbia, and many, many others, all in the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole.
You know, your dad's side's starting to go viral.
Hey, what is that a new thing? Can I get a pill or a shot for that?
Anyway, you can call us at 479-STADIUM or 479-782-3486.
Or drop by the store at 989 South Razorback Road next to Baum-Walker Stadium in Fayetteville. If you need to, you can shop us online at them Gram things.
Dad, let me do this. What he means is our website, which is shoponrazorback.com.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine on North 11th Street, is your place. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith, 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
There's more to a tractor than just horsepower. A tractor also needs weight to get that horsepower to the ground. With TYM, a heavier tractor comes standard. Many of the TYM models weigh more for the horsepower than comparable tractors from the big names, and tractors that weigh more do more. See Bush Tractor at their new location at 6100 South Zero in Fort Smith, or log on to bushtractor.com to see how they can upgrade your productivity.
Presented by Sharp Equipment. Get hooked on Sharp Equipment this year. Sharp Equipment has hooked up with Eastern Oklahoma Guide Service for a free guided fishing trip with the purchase of any Wacker-Neuson equipment. Along with getting a superior piece of equipment, you will get hooked up with a free guided fishing trip for the chance at a catch of a lifetime. Visit them at Sharp Equipment, 6104 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith, or call them at 479-242-1406.
And we're back with the action. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. With an irresistible taste and zero sugar, Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any sports fan. So make sure you... Wait, Jim, I didn't mean try it right now. We're still on the air.
Best Coke ever? Take a taste, Jen.
Really?
No, not right now, Jen. We got a game to call.
Pay attention. This happens fast. Routine, scheduled, maintenance. You know it's coming one day, but that day's in the future. Then the future comes, and your wallet's not ready for that $250 maintenance. But your forklift is. It needs it. Good thing you're smart. You're buying a used forklift from Medley Equipment Company this summer, and its first planned maintenance will be free because Medley keeps you moving.
I'm branch manager Dennis Mabry. Visit medleycompany.com or see us at 4001 Harper Avenue, Fort Smith, Arkansas.
What's new at Wheeler Power Sports? Short answer, a lot. All new Kawasaki Ninja 500, Z500, Eliminators, and Mule Pro Diesels. New Kawasaki Ridge side-by-side is now arriving. New Polaris Expeditions and Ranger XD 1500s. New Suzuki GSX 8R. New 2024 model Polaris Slingshots, including the Roush Edition, are now in stock. Check us out online at WheelerPowersports.com or stop by and see us at downtown Fort Smith at 901 North 11th Street. Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
A few things we wanted to hit on that are not SEC football related. Kendall Diggs did announce he will return to Arkansas for a fourth year yesterday. So we're going to get a very experienced Razorback. That means there'll be two players that were part of the last College World Series team at Arkansas. Kendall, of course, was there with Will McIntyre in the 2022 College World Series in Omaha. Look, Seth lost 70 points off his batting average. He lost 90 points off his on-base percentage. He lost over 150 points off his slugging percentage. Torn labrum will do that to you a little bit. So I'm expecting Kendall to come back with some fire, and I'm sure he'll feel like there's a little bit to prove. We've got to be healthy first and foremost and get his name back on the draft next year. But that's a lot of production that can return as long as he's healthy. I think he's much more of the player we saw as a sophomore than the injured player that we saw as a junior. Yes, Matt.
I was going to say I've had a torn labrum, so I know it's not the easiest to Drew Brees. You start thinking of other players throughout. I mean, it's a common injury, so but it takes time for it to heal. No question about it.
Also saw another Razorback-related baseball note that Dallas Keuchel has been DFA'd by the Milwaukee Brewers. They just signed him after he had been with the Mariners AAA team in Tacoma, and then Milwaukee brought him in and gave him 4 starts, 5.40 ERA. They've designated him for assignment. He chose free agency, so Keuchel can sign with anybody right now, and I'm sure somebody will need a strike-throwing left-hander that can give you a few innings here and there. And baseball does get back to action tomorrow. Today is the last day of this extended All-Star break. Matt, I saw where the youngest player in American soccer history got on the field in MLS yesterday. The young man's name is Kevin Sullivan. He is 14 years old. And let's see, he is younger than Freddie Adu, and he made his debut by like a week or so. Let's see. Yeah, it's 13 days, 2 weeks younger than Freddie Adu when Adu made his famous debut in the MLS 2 decades ago. The thing is did Adu have really all that much of a pro career?
He went overseas. I trained with him at IMG Academy.
Mm-hmm.
We crossed paths while we were there. So the dude was extremely talented. I mean, you could fit him in the palm of your hand. You know, he's a little bitty guy. These soccer players are. But yeah, honestly, we were just so hungry for a star, and there's too much unwanted the pressure wasn't fair. Everybody put on Adu. It wasn't fair at all.
I mean, to me, look, I've got a 15-year-old daughter. I've got a 12-year-old son. This kid looks considerably older than both of them, for sure. I guess he signed with Man City, but he can't play with them until he's the age of 18. So I guess he'll be with the Philadelphia Union for the foreseeable future.
There you go. So that's big time. That's like Endrick for Brazil. He signed with Real Madrid, but he can't play for him until he's 18. Man, that's good. You gotta work the youth system. If the United States ever want to be decent at soccer, and I mean beating teams that are in the top 20. You look at the FIFA World Rankings and you look at games that matter. We play a team in the top 20, we don't win, and so you got to be able to. It starts with the youth.
More news coming out from the college football playoff last night that the leaders of the playoff won't be making any decisions as to the future of the format until after a national champion has been crowned in this year's 12-team field. So I know there's 2 years left in the contract, and then they could remake this playoff again, but they're going to wait until the national champion is crowned. So I guess this conversation comes up again about the middle of January. But you don't need to have more. You don't need to have more teams in this. I think 12 is a good number. I know Sam Pittman got this question. I think many other coaches have gotten this question at SEC Media Days about the idea maybe of keeping games on campus until the championship. I actually really like the idea of the first round being on campus and then moving to bowl sites. It keeps some of these bowl games or bowl sites in business. They're only going to be the traditional bowl games that are part of the championship or part of the playoff. So I don't think the games all need to go to campus. I like the first round going to campus, and then you get the bowl sites in there. So, but I think that could be another change they could make eventually. If you move all of these playoff games to campus before the championship, you're going to have some bowl games that just go away.
Yeah, I don't know that I like playing all the games at home sites for the playoffs. I hope they do more neutral sites. I see what you're saying on that first round. So to be those first 4 games, I'm guessing.
It's just something new and unique, but it also does.
It's advantage in college football to me. It's advantage home team that way.
Always.
That's his total advantage.
And also And, Greg Sankey, of course, talking much more football at SEC Media Days, but he's also pumping up the other achievements from the SEC. I mean, he gets up there, speaks on Monday, and talks about all the national championships that were won by SEC schools. And this is one of the years he can't say that football won a national title. But he also did confirm to Ross Dellinger that the baseball roster limit is going to settle in the mid-30s. We had somebody text in about it yesterday. This is a decision by the NCAA where the roster limit would be lowered from 40 currently to the mid-30s now, and then schools can offer full scholarships to their entire roster. And I think about the school, like what leagues can actually do that when it comes to baseball? The Big Ten could do that if they choose to. It's a matter of, do they want to have an emphasis on the sport? The SEC, the ACC, they're going to be giving full scholarships to whomever's on these programs, and I'd imagine the Big 12 does the same thing. It's a massive change in college baseball, more so than any change in any other sport. I think in college sports, when you talk about the way you put a team together, you'll be going from 11.7 scholarships to 35 full scholarships, and it'll go along with with NIL. It'll go along with direct payments to players when that does happen. And I'm going to tell you what, if you really enjoy college baseball, if you think it's fun, it's about to get even more fun, because now these kids will have even more reason to not sign. And that also means that there's more reason for major league teams to not draft kids out of high school. And we've seen this trend in the last couple of years. The college game, all the college sports have gotten older, and the pandemic is a big reason why. College baseball is going to stay at a level of being older. And I think that full scholarships and the money that's going into the sport now that goes directly to players in these cases is another reason why. It'll also, I think, change the makeup of the teams. You really, in a lot of cases, kids that go play college baseball have to have families who can afford it, who can afford to pay at least half tuition or full tuition in some cases. They're not going to have to worry about that any longer. So I think it changes a little bit of the financial stratosphere that some of these kids are coming in from. It's going to provide some opportunities for poor kids who might choose to play a different sport because it's fully funded. It's going to be a great thing for college baseball, and it's long overdue. So those are the updates I've got as far as
updates
that's concerned.
On the 152nd British Open, Tiger Woods 8 over going into 18th. He has a long birdie putt coming up. Shane Lowry, the Irishman, through 14, he's 4 under in the lead. Phil, American, it's in the clubhouse. Justin Thomas, he's 3 under, so he's 1 back, and it's just getting going.
It means you'll be turning that. Well,
it's over?
I was going to say it's over by the time we're done.
Saturday,
with the show, right?
Sunday be the days to watch it. But yeah, the first round's probably got about an hour left. There's a guy I see on the 11th hole, Matt Hughes, the Canadians, on the 12th hole. So there's still some guys out there on the course if you want to watch it. But yeah, they're rounding up shop today.
I love so on the open.com, which is the official website of the Open Championship, they've got a blog that I'm looking at right now, and it's just kind of fun to think about. You're reading this in a British accent. Burmester on his bunker brilliance. They do like the word brilliance and brilliant in Great Britain. Here's one about, I don't know this gentleman's name. It's Mackenzie Hughes. Mackenzie Hughes, this is just somebody typed this out. Mackenzie Hughes delivers a really lovely birdie putt to climb back to 2 under. Really lovely. I don't really know if there's many American golf commentators that would use that terminology. I just think it sounds British, the way that it writes, the way that it reads. It might be a little more entertaining than actually watching the golf itself. Maybe just a little bit.
Take it in with a spot of tea.
Exactly. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back with a spot of tea and wrap halftime up right after this.
You trying to say Jesus Christ can't hit a curveball?
This is halftime.
Waiting on someone to bale your hay? Come in to Gray Brothers Equipment and let us show you how affordable owning your own Kubota hay equipment can be. Bale your hay when it's ready, not when it's burned up. With economical pricing at Gray Brothers and affordable interest rates from Kubota, this year is the year to bale your own hay. That's Gray Brothers Equipment in Fort Smith and Poto, where if you pick orange, you'll never get a lemon.
Has your job been grinding your gears lately? Then let me tell you about Lavorne Lumber. They're looking to fill a regional over-the-road position. They use brand new equipment in your home every weekend. Don't think you're getting paid enough? That's not the case at Lavorne Lumber. They're highly competitive in that area. So if this sounds like a great next job opportunity for you, then stop by and see Pam and the Bills Monday through Friday from 9 to 4 at Lavorne Lumber. 515 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith and online at Lavorne, Lovvorn lumber.com.
Missing or broken teeth? Sharp Smiles wants you to start chewing again with dental implants. Scared of the dentist? Sharp Smiles will help you overcome your fear. Big dental problems? Sharp Smiles Modern Dentistry and Implants is your answer to your dental needs and services, where your smile is top priority. Get the smile you have always wanted from the friendly faces at Sharp Smiles, 2600 Market Trace, Suite B, off Jenny Lind across from Harps. For more information, visit the website at sharpsmilesdds.com or call 648-9988.
Finders is having a vacation sale. That's right. Take a vacation from payments for 90 days and a vacation from sales tax. This month, get your sales tax paid and no payments for 90 days. The lot is full with pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs with huge discounts. And right now, there's easy financing and all certified pre-owns come with a certified pre-owned warranty. Your search ends at Auto Finders in Roland. Financing for all types of credit. Check out the boats and ATVs too. Auto Finders, Highway 64 in Roland or AutoFindersOK.com. Your search ends here.
Are you looking for a great deal on a previously owned vehicle but want to avoid high-pressure sales? If so, you need to visit Edwards Auto Sales in Roland. For over 30 years, Ernie Edwards and his staff have helped folks from Arkansas and Oklahoma River Valley buy a quality vehicle and offer a buy here, pay here program as part of their services. Some restrictions may apply. Come visit Edwards Auto Center newly remodeled facility, 3 miles west of the Garrison Bridge, the first car dealer on your right, or log on at edwardsautosalesinc.com.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
Get up to $6,500 off on 2024 GMC Sierras or $4,000 off and as low as 1.9% financing for 36 months with approved credit at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 2024 GMC Sierra 1500 has a 5.3-liter V8 engine, so you can conquer the road with confidence. Up to $6,500 off or $4,000 in discounts and as low as 1.9% financing. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
This is Chuck Fawcett with Chuck Fawcett Realty. When I have an HVAC problem or a plumbing problem, I call 782-8940. That's 782-8940. Blaylock Heating and Air.
So to have a red truck rolling your way today, give us a call. That's Blaylock Heating and Air Conditioning for all of your heating, cooling, plumbing, and drain cleaning needs and great York Home products. It's just one number you need to know. That's 782-8940.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
My heart left me for dead and drank my blood to me. She said, I see the sweat, it's waiting gold. That fire we had was turning cold.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
All right, and we wrap things up on halftime today. Phil Elson, Matt Jones. It's good to have in 45 back with us as well. And Tomorrow's my last show until Thursday next week. I'll take a few days off.
Woo.
Actually headed to the Berg with my son tomorrow. We'll be there. My father's in a movie that has a premiere on Saturday night. Actually went clothes shopping yesterday, Matt, believe it or not. Bought myself a nice-looking navy blazer. I keep being told everybody needs a navy blazer, so yeah. Got to wear a coat to this movie premiere, so Dad's making me dress up.
Maybe we can get a C-movie watching the movie School Ties, where they wear some blue blazers in there. Yeah,
Be a good one,
you
too.
rocking.
Yeah, maybe you get a bowl of soup with that hat as well.
Ooh, should have yelled too.
And then we head to New York City on Sunday. I'm going to be spending 6 hours in the car with my father and my son. It'll be great. And we get to Manhattan Sunday evening. Got Yankees-Rays tickets on Monday afternoon. I have not been to the new Yankee Stadium. My son's never been to New York City. That's where my dad's from. And let's see, Tuesday we've got tickets to see Wicked on Broadway. Wednesday we drive to Cooperstown. And then I'm set up to be broadcasting from the Hall of Fame Thursday and Friday next week. They're not inducting me into it, though, unfortunately. I do, guess I had to have a major league career for that to happen.
New York state of mind, man. That's you're gonna have fun. That sounds pretty cool.
Well, it's a little bit of like a trip back to the homeland. Like New York City is the kind of the ancestral homeland. Once we got to the States, like my ancestors are mostly Eastern European, Russian, Ukrainian, Polish. But once they got to the States, and one of the cool things that I hope we get to do, all of my ancestors that came over from the old country, they went through Ellis Island. I've never been able to get onto Ellis Island. My son really wants to see it, so I think we'll go get a chance to do that. If we can do that, maybe we can actually see some of the actual documents that the Benowitzes and the Elsons might have signed. Or I'm interested in finding out, like, actually what my last name was before it was Elson, because I'm going to guarantee you it was not Elson. They were cutting last names off in half back then. So I think it was Mendelssohn is my guess. So I'm excited about that. And then, I guess tomorrow we'll just have our regular like, there's no media days tomorrow. It's over. Well, I guess it's not over until the last coach sings, which would be Mark Stoops.
Well, it was pretty cool today, Phil. You have to give a shout out to Taylor Green, Andrew Armstrong, and Landon Jackson's. Thank you, for those guys coming on and spending a little time with us. And I think they all three did good jobs.
I thought so too. And listening to Taylor, and if you missed any of that, it's all coming out on the Eastside Liquor Halftime podcast. I think you'll be really impressed listening to Taylor Green speak. He's got a sense of humor. He was straight up honest about things, and he knows who Matt Jones is. He gave him a shout out at the end of the interview, and he said you're the guy that he's most compared to as far as his strengths are concerned. So I thought that was great. And then if you missed the Andrew Armstrong, Taylor Green combination, like the two of these guys, they have a real friendly rivalry going. We're going to everything they do.
We're going to be in trouble with our radio show if they won it.
That's right.
We'd be in trouble.
We did not need to be part of that conversation. Like, you and I could have just taken our headphones off and turned the microphone off. We could just let those guys go forever until they would have been like, hello, anyone there? Been a little bit awkward at that point. So great stuff today. Make sure you're listening to Ruskin and Zach. They're coming up in just a little less than a handful of minutes. So for 45, and Colton, it was great to have you back with us on the show. See Movies back tomorrow. For Matt, for 45, I'm Phil. We appreciate you listening today. That's halftime. Now get up, get out, and get better.
Let's see. Leaky faucet Tuesday. Water flooding the yard. Better put that down for the middle of the month when the bills aren't due.
Honey, what are you doing?
Planning our plumbing problems, of course.
You can't plan our plumbing problems, but you should plan our plumber.
What do you mean?
Like all important contacts, I keep Westart Plumbing in my phone. They're always there when we need them, and they don't overcharge since they know we don't plan our plumbing problems. Here, honey, here's their number.
Alan, tell us all you got going on there at Big Creek Trading Company.
You bet. Lots of things are going on. Fishing's getting better. We've had a little rain here and there, lots of rain other places, so it's filling up the creeks and the ponds, in the rivers. So that type of fish is doing great. So we've got all that right here if you need any of that. Also, the straight wall cartridges still pretty hot. October 19th is the date that you can start doing the alternative hunt, and we've got them all right here: 350 Legend, 400 Legend. We've got the 360 Buckhammer and all the handgun rounds. We got lever action, bolt action, and breakover. Even got some of the new handguns coming in. SIG's come out with a new 365 called the Fuse. I've got some of those in the shop. Plenty of ammo, case, Kershaw, Bear & Son knives, ready to go. So anything you need to get on the water, in the woods, or on the trail, all right here at Big Creek Trading Company.